in a couple years, Bronny going to be a real NBA player.
I agree.
Like a real solid NBA player. Peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-hosts.
Hey, y'all. Monica, I'm back. New dog mom is my title today.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's Rudy, Wave God, Big Dog, since we talking about dogs.
Hey, man.
Gave myself a new nickname.
And I'm Kazeem Famuyide. You could call me Kaz. And this is a Wave original presented by FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Guys, it's a family affair today, y'all. Shout out to our brother Melo. Wish he was here, but 4/5 of the gang is here in the hook. And on this episode of 7 p.m., we're going to get into what the Celtics sale means for the organization's future. A story I think we're really under the radar. We're going to get into that. The morning routine taking over the internet. If you saw a bunch of sparkling water and banana peels just take over your timeline this week, we're going to try our best to sort of explain that. And of course, we got to talk about what's going on with our New York Knicks. But first, it's been a while since we all been here, man. How's everybody living, man? How's the dogs, Monica?
So I have battle scars from a 4-month-old Mastiff mix with razor sharp teeth.
Sheesh.
But Lucky, that's my little stink though.
All right, shout out Lucky, man, but he can't be doing all that.
He's terrible. He can't help it. He can't help himself yet. He's actually pretty smart, but yeah, we gotta get past the puppy teething thing.
Okay. I want to ask. I want to ask.
The worst.
How's everybody's brackets looking? First off, that's the question I want to ask. How y'all brackets looking 2 weeks into the tournament?
I'm gonna tell you the one game I got right.
One you got right?
I mean, like the one that was like I'm proud of.
Oh, okay.
It was Drake.
Yeah. Okay. I had Drake in the first round.
Beating Missouri.
Okay. All right, Missouri.
Right. So now I'm glad you asked that. So I picked Drake because I be checking Drake out. You know what I mean? Throughout the season, I was checking him out. I knew we was going to get to this point where everybody start asking questions. And really a lot of people don't know shit about these teams.
Okay, my first question, where is Drake?
I was about to
I have
like,
no
what
idea.
conference?
We're talking about the school, not the artist.
If we talking about in all, they needed a win.
That's how all the Drakes needed to win this.
Fucking Drake.
They got some.
Drake University.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I picked him. I'm like, yo, this team, I saw him early in the season, like a couple games. I'm like, yo, this team is nice. But I also watched Missouri play.
Mm-hmm.
And the style of play just didn't match up. So I'm like, yo, Drake. My son, everybody was like, yo, you picking Drake? Like, what are you doing? Drake. Drake. This is what happened. They even said that to me. I said, yo, Drake. Like they would
sound like Soulja Boy.
Me in there.
Drake.
I'm proud of this one right here. Proud of this.
Missouri
I
Valley
take trash
Conference.
out and everything.
Shout out to Melo.
So where?
Iowa.
Iowa.
Oh,
Des Moines.
that was close though. Closer than I would have thought.
Shit next door.
In the-
you know what I mean?
in the
Yeah.
vicinity.
There has been a whole lot of upsets this year, especially with the smaller schools. So picking Drake is a good one. But like before we get into the rundown, just as far as bracket talk, just as UConn, Georgetown, Syracuse, your thoughts about the NCAA tournament and the quote unquote lack of Cinderellas this year, and just all the big schools, the SEC schools, just bogarting the tournament.
It was big schools who was the Cinderella teams this year.
True. Does Maryland count? I feel like Maryland might be in there.
Nah, they've been consistent all year. They've been good.
Yeah.
Shout out Derek Queen.
Big shout out to B.
Shout out.
Moore.
Okay.
Big shout out.
Yeah,
But-
DQ.
And I don't want to give it to the internet,
shit.
but
I don't want
I
to.
know you've seen it, Rudy.
shit.
I don't want to hear
I
it.
know.
Shout out.
No, shout out to
about
Maryland,
it.
shout out to the Terps. They doing their thing. But I know y'all seen it.
Say
Because
what?
at first I was like,
What we
nah.
saw? What we saw?
1, 2, 3.
It was a little bit of a step.
you
Come on, no, for real.
Nah.
And I'm that person that did not want to give it. But then I looked, I was like, ooh.
No.
If you do that with half of the moves and plays
That's
that
a
people
basketball
do,
move.
like
Shout out to
It
the
was a
ref
hell
for
of a
not-
move.
Yeah,
The
shout out
bank
to the
shot,
ref,
everything.
though.
Hell of a move.
all LeBron's points in half if you really looked at it like that.
Okay, all right. That's where we at.
That's
Did
something
you
you
watch
work
it?
on though. Boom, boom, fade with the, you know what I mean? Going away from it, fade.
That's a
That's
tough
something you
shot.
It
work
was a
on.
hell of a move. I
tough shot.
100% agree.
So for him to be comfortable in that situation, like, and he has great footwork.
Not to mention
Hell
he's
of a
about
move.
He might have the
6'10",
best footwork in college.
Hell of a move.
260, 270. Maybe.
It just one cha-cha step too many.
That gather step is where it gets funky because it's a gather step and he's off the opposite foot.
That was a tough
So
shot.
I don't know if it might have been a walk, might not have been, but shout out to ref for not calling that because
That's
nobody.
It was a hell of a finish.
Nobody wants the ref to jump in there like, woo!
Yeah,
Travel or not too many people can make that shot.
Nah,
I'll give you that. Yes, 100%.
Game. That's a tough angle bank shot. Like that's different.
That's tough.
Going one way, shooting it, like that's different.
And that's what the tournament's all about too, man. To have
Different
those
as in
moments,
illegal.
you know, get the
Different
buzz
as,
beater.
different as in illegal.
Oh man, I know on the women's side, folks had high hopes
Word,
for
man.
JuJu Watkins and USC. Man, she's been killing it all season long, her entire USC career. But unfortunately, a torn ACL ended her season. We wish her a healthy and speedy recovery. This is not just devastating for USC, not just devastating for the tournament this year, but I mean, she's as bright a star as you can ask for in college basketball right now. With the college rules and getting the ACL tear when she had it, there's a possibility she might miss some time next season too. So that's really tough. I want to ask you guys, do you think this is the last time we'll see JuJu Watkins on the college basketball court?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No. So you can't talk about JuJu and her opportunities in college without looking at what's ahead for her in terms of the W.
Yep.
CBA is coming up for the W. Sure, she's clearing more money right now than she would in the W.
Oh,
she
yeah.
has zero reason to rush. Like zero reason to rush. And so, no, I think she'll be back at USC. She could be one of those folks that recover quickly.
We just seen Paige Beckers do it, you know.
Paige has done it. Olivia Miles had to do it at Notre Dame.
Mhm.
There's no reason for her to rush.
She's 19, right?
Man, you never know nowadays in college, man. You think they 16, maybe 21.
Nah, we've been following JuJu for a while,
Yeah,
so
we know.
we gotta know her age.
Yeah, but is that really? It's
19,
not even a thing, man. She could take her time.
This is a message to the WNBA. Figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm
CBA is gonna be
I'm not rushing.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to come out until after next year anyway. You get what I'm saying?
that's
So while y'all figure that out, I'm gonna collect this bag over here at USC.
and players like her,
Because the money that I make, we just talking money.
Right.
The money that I make at USC over the next 3 years will be a lot more money than what she would make coming into the WNBA.
Mhm.
but players
For
like
her
her,
first 2-3 years.
Yeah.
players like her are she's definitely a conversation piece when it comes to that new CBA.
For sure.
So,
Yeah,
like, they're
so
going to get it
sure.
right for
Yeah,
her.
get the money right.
You know what I'm saying? They have to. They have
Get the
to.
bags right, W.
And it's rare,
Get
you
the
know.
bags right.
Cha-ching.
There's not a ton of this, especially with leagues, we could kind of see from a vantage point that the women's game and the WNBA players have they have a ton of leverage right now. Unrivaled has done great.
Yeah.
They have actual money that they've been real investors have been making it a real thing. You got this influx of great talent coming in from the college game, not just JuJu, but you got Hannah Hidalgo who's killing, Paige Beckers, Kiki Rice, Malaysia Fawali. Like everybody that comes in there is going to be a household name amongst women's basketball circles. And now this JuJu thing sort of hangs over it all. Granted, yes, it sucks for the tournament. Yes, it sucks for USC. But, this collective bargaining agreement with the WNBA is going to be so interesting to watch because they got to get this right. Like we're seeing the money that JuJu, I mean, granted, it's beautiful that it sucks that she got injured, but for the first time in a long time in years past, a college star will get hurt and we'll be like, damn, we'll never know what that person could have done financially for their family. At least in this day and age, we know they good.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
They ain't messing
Don't
with
fuck the CBA. Don't fuck it up. I'm just saying, the W, please don't figure this out. Not nothing with JuJu. I'm just saying
big
in
picture.
general, big picture.
Yeah, of course.
Figure this out because this next move is a really, really pivotal move.
Gosh, I'm nervous about it because again, I feel like when the NBA goes to CBAs, the owners are usually, air quotes around this, but usually I have sort of the same sort of pockets, right? Yes, there's some with super deep pockets and not others, but there is a baseline expectation from group to group on the NBA side. The W, for all of the growth that it's experiencing, you still got owners questioning what is actually the standard, what the standard should look like. Everybody is not an Aces or a Liberty or even Seattle's new practice facility or Phoenix's new practice facility. But if you're talking about the teams that are probably going to be at the top of the lottery, Chicago, for example, just hypothetically, there's no way a JuJu, when she gets healthy, is coming to Chicago with the way that they have operated in terms of their standard right now. And so there's a different pressure for these owners to get on board in a real way. And at this point, the women of the W are far more demanding and have expectations compared to where they were the league is only 29 years old, but now you're not just saying yes because you're thankful for the opportunity. You have expectations.
And a lot of that is due to college basketball because of the amount of money that's been floated in.
For sure.
And the fact that the rules are like you stay there for 3-4 years, even if you're not the biggest college basketball fan, you've spent 3 or 4 years having that emotional connection to these players. And now they're coming in with much more rapport and much more of a high value than they did in years past. So it's going to be interesting to see,
I'll
man.
add one more thing to that.
Please.
I think with the women's basketball, like the women, with the players, they want standard now.
Yep.
Like it's about standards. Like we want shit. Like we professionals. Like we want facilities. We want our shit to be top notch. We want to travel like professionals. We want to stay like professionals in hotels, and we want a professional experience.
That's
it.
The game can't keep growing and going the way that it's going, and we still in this fight of whether you guys believe in us or not.
Treat it like a second-hand athlete.
So you got to really let's get this deal right. You know what they're gonna ask for. We need better facilities. We need better flights. We need better. We need all of this, right? So don't even fight it. Just figure out how you get this shit done, because you don't want this to really stabilize the WNBA.
Yeah.
Because these women today are very, very strong and they understand their power.
Yep. Because
which is why they doing
Look at Unrivaled, man.
You know, which is why they doing all of this. So if anything, it's like you guys should be trying to work and figure this thing out together, because if not, these women have a different mindset today. Like when it comes to what they want in the game of basketball, and they understand what they bring into the game. From a business standpoint too, which is a lot different.
The
Which is why you have a young player like an Angel come in and say, nah, fuck that. Like, no, we
with the platform to be able to do it.
Get it right.
Listen,
You know, we don't want to fight, but get it right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's the options out there. So if there's a possibility, if there's a lockout, it's a possibility of people sitting down. I think everybody who's a rookie this year, you know what I mean, will be eligible for Unrivaled. So, like, say it all goes south and they do fuck it up.
This guy.
Like, we got somewhere to go. We got somewhere to be watched on TV, all that shit.
So, there's always room for improvement and progress. That's a great segue. But something exciting is happening for the W this upcoming season. 26 games are going to be broadcast on ESPN and ABC.
Yeah.
Monica, give us some game. As women's basketball continues to get showcased on a larger scale, how could the media improve its coverage of the overall game?
So this is a family episode. I'm a little tangent real quick. Y'all obviously remember last year's exchange on First Take.
Yeah, we remember.
A week ago?
Shout out Steven there.
That is my guy. Shout out Steven.
Come on,
We're all
man.
good. We're all good.
I tried to walk you into the landmines.
We got to let him know. We got to let him know that.
I love those.
No, we know that, but I don't want anybody watching it. We're all good. But was it a week ago? It had to be like a week ago, getting ready for the tournament.
Okay.
We are talking women's basketball again, and of course, SA is like, everybody know I love Caitlin Clark. And I'm sitting across from him like, is this real life? Because yes, I live this. But anyway, the conversation is about JuJu and about other teams to watch out for. And so we have this segment where we're mentioning names that are not commonplace. I pointed out Texas. I pointed out UCLA, Rory Harmon, Madison Booker, Lauren Best, Kiki Rice. Like, it was a moment that I was like, wow, to go from the viral whatever from last year to a real conversation. And then we followed that one up later in the week with Andrea Carter talking tournament again. I would say of the media, the coverage, you cover the sport.
Yeah.
Cover the sport, right? And I'm not saying I'm a member of the media. I know we're going to talk Lakers, Warriors. Like, I get it in terms of the rating piece of it. But cover the sport, which means you got to at least mention some of the teams that maybe don't have marquee names that people recognize off the top, because we have the ability to sort of educate the audience. So for me, that's my biggest thing going into this season. I really hope we never ever start a segment on a Monday talking about a flagrant foul. That means nothing, like, ever again. But I'm super excited. I mean, the brand power is there. The Aces and the Liberty play on national television a bunch of times. Of course, the Fever are on national TV a bunch
Clark
of times.
has all but 3 of her games on national TV this year.
Between all the national partnerships,
Insane.
That team overhauled. So they're going to look really different. They added Joanna Bonner, like Sydney Colson is out there. My girl from Sophie Cunningham from Phoenix is out there now.
They loaded this year.
Yeah, they re-up. They might be really trying to make something happen.
I mean, shoot, you see what Caitlin Clark does for a year. A lot of these WNBA vets, not only they didn't go there because she's a great player, but it's like 26 nationally televised games too. Can't be mad at that. So
that's why I don't fuck it up.
You absolutely right.
Don't fuck it up.
Guys, let's segue into this, man. 7 p.m. alum Mikal Bridges Just keeping it real with Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau. It hurts for me to talk about this, but we're going to do it anyway. He revealed that heading into the final stretch of the regular season, he asked Thibs to reduce the playing time for the starters. And the minutes police was out with they sirens quickly. As Mikhail put it, quote, "We've got a good enough team where our bench guys can come in and we don't need to play 48, 47 minutes. Jalen Brunson recovering from a sprained ankle. Karl Anthony Towns has had some hand issues throughout the year. Knicks broke down in the playoffs last year due to injury. No Julius, no OG, no Mitch.
Is this a fucking with you or fucking with us?
I said I didn't want to talk about it. I'm not a member of the minutes police, but it's got to be a question because Mikhail brought it to the media, and now it is a question for all of us.
Respectfully,
as the Knicks continue to get healthy heading into this playoff stretch. I have to ask.
No.
Do the Knicks have a Tom Thibodeau problem?
Okay. Before you go, I was present at the Mikal Bridges shoot-around availability when he said that.
Okay. Give it context.
I think Bondi might ask a question from the New York Post. It was not I told Thibs we didn't want to play. It was much more we have confidence in the guys coming off our bench.
Communicating.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was not I think it got played as if I don't want to play. That's not the way he was saying. He was leaning on the wall. He was chilling. Y'all know how post shoot around scrums are.
Of course.
He just was our bench guys are playing well. If the starters don't have to,
they can. Do a solid for the bench.
Yeah. It was much more about supporting the bench than anything else. I just want to put that out there.
You know how that go, though. You know.
As soon as he said it, I was like, ooh.
The minutes police was already out there.
I was oh no.
There's no team, there's no coach that is more tied in with how many minutes that starters and important players play than Tom Thibodeau. So the moment a important starter, not just an important starter, a guy who has never missed a game.
That nigga tired.
Anything in the sense of these guys can play too.
That's what it really comes down to. He just shit catching up to him, man.
Yo.
You ain't Iron Man no more. Nah, you're not Iron Man any fucking more. So
it ain't possible. It ain't possible.
You miss a couple games.
It ain't possible.
But on the flip side of that, honestly, I'm sitting here listening to that. And I'm like, there's no way in hell as a player, knowing what I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm mad if I come out the game. Thibs, you bet not take me out the game. We got to lock the fuck in. Don't take me out the game.
Mind you, at this point, that scrum, Jalen Brunson had gone down now.
Yeah,
the minutes going up, bro.
Nah, pardon, 8, 9, 10. Nah.
Right.
We in this, Thibs. We locked in. Let's go. For me, I'm again, it's not a comparison, but it's like the mindset of I don't want to come out the fucking game.
Nah.
I'm mad if I come out the game.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never even you know how you saying minutes. When you playing, you never even know how many minutes you playing.
Yeah, just adapt,
I played the whole game. I didn't even notice. If
you weren't a Knick before. If you were a Knick, people will know immediately. Rudy Gay, we gotta sit him down.
I led the league I was up there in the league in minutes at one point in my career, and it's it just felt like another game. You're competitive. You want to be out there. Even when you're sitting up, man, when you going to put me back in? When you going to go back in? You sitting there if you're competitive, and this is a team that's really competitive. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, granted, I don't think, obviously the media does certain things to manipulate stories and situations, but as far as with that, I mean, shit.
I want to hoop.
I want to hoop. I would love to play the Thibs, bro.
I mean, okay.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably would have did the same shit. Thibs, God damn, I probably would have did the same shit. I probably would have said it a little differently. Right. You know what I mean?
Bruh, the first time I came on this show, I told a story about you not wanting to come out of the game.
That's a fact. I'm saying
exactly.
You talking about Thibs. You talking about the Thibs culture.
Well, I don't know too much about that. I just know I wouldn't want to come out the game.
No, me too. From a real competitive standpoint, there's no way I want to come out the game. I'll figure the shit out. I'll figure my body out. I'll figure all that shit after the game.
Practice is done.
Practice been done since February.
I'm not
let me play devil's advocate for a hot second, right? You're the third place at the New York Knicks. You see the Celtics and the Cavs ahead of you. Not only are their starting players having, great seasons, all-star seasons, all that type of stuff, but every now and then you see a Sam Hauser or Peyton Pritchard or Ty Jerome, all of these 7th, 8th, 9th man guys producing for your team.
You're talking about champs,
not saying that
champs.
The Knicks don't have those guys.
Champs.
Yeah.
They champs.
Cavs even. You got Ty Jerome, you got DeAndre Hunter.
They built to go against the champs.
All these guys. that,
So what are you saying though?
Yeah.
my question is, like, is there something about Mikal Bridges being like, yo, we have guys just as talented as these people
Mikal Bridges
that can come in?
is tired. This guy ain't missed a game since high school, bro. He's tired. Like, he's tired.
Yeah.
You need to
Jalen
go see a
Brunson,
shaman or something, man. Like, yo,
Jalen Brunson ain't gonna never say he's
bullshit.
tired, but injuries will tell you that you fatigue, your body fatigue, that you're
Right.
dealing with something, right? We just don't know. We don't have opportunities to take time away from the game to really cater to those little nick and knacks that, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
because after practice, he
gotta
on the west
constantly
side
play,
highway,
play.
he in traffic. You know what I'm saying? He
also
walking to
the
the
only way-
bodega. You know what I mean?
the only way you
all
deal
that
with
kind
that
of stuff.
is
He got a KIRR shooter, like a photo shoot. Like, this is all stuff he's doing, yo. Like, just cut the other shit out, play
that shit has
basketball,
been done in the
man.
past, bro. You know what I mean?
That's
That ain't what they do. My guys is locked in
They
over
got KIRR photo shoots. They got
Okay,
all this shit.
I dug the
to be
AT&T
in New York
commercial. That was fire.
the AT&T commercial is cute.
To
It's a
be
big
in New York,
stage.
to your point,
It's a big stage.
like
Yeah.
it comes with everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of people don't want to come to New York because it comes with more than just being a basketball player or a football player or baseball. It's a whole world around it, and if you know how to navigate your way within that world, you will be good. If you run away from that world, it's gonna be crazy. You get what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna be navigating it blindly. And navigating it from a social media standpoint and trying to figure out what people are saying, and it's going to drive you crazy.
Right.
So you got to embrace everything that comes with being
So,
in New
you're saying
York.
he hasn't figured it out yet?
Who?
Like, from what you're saying, like saying stuff like that, you don't think he figured out
Who, Mikal?
how to be a Knick?
Mikal?
Yeah. On the court, maybe, but
Yeah,
off the
That's a
court.
good question. Actually.
No, I don't think a lot of them don't know how to be what it means to be a Knick
Right.
and what it means to represent New York and that energy and that pressure that comes with that. I think a lot of guys just go out there and just play, and it's New York. They go play and they go home and they go do their thing. They come back. They know they representing something bigger, but I don't think it's that mindset of like, this is New York. I'm playing for New
I'ma
York,
tell you this,
not
Mikal.
just the Knicks.
If I ever see you at Pergola or something like that, I'm on your ass.
But see,
No, because you talking about you don't want to do that.
But see
Let
Rudy.
that man
But
live.
see Rudy.
No, we talking about
No,
you
but
can't.
Rudy,
you
to
tired.
that point,
Go on.
you have to see them out.
Yeah.
You have to, because
Here's
this
how-
is New York.
Then that comment is worse
Not
than
out. I'm just saying, people want to see those guys.
I agree.
People want
I agree.
experiences with these guys.
Right,
There's no
right.
more experiences, which is why the fan experience is bad today. There's no more getting together. There's no more going out doing shit with fans.
And
There's
I think one thing a lot of NBA fans don't
there's
realize
no more
is
camaraderie with that.
the Knicks are one of the few franchises where their practice facility is way up in Westchester.
That's another
that's
thing.
been
Playing
a
in the
complaint, though.
Garden.
That's been a complaint.
But that adds up. It's what? It's April. It's about
First
to
of
be
all,
April.
no, I don't
That's
think
it.
that. No, I don't think that adds up anymore.
Practices are not.
yeah,
like,
I don't think that-
whatever
that adds
Tibbs
up.
Not like
culture
they
of the
used
'90s or the early 2000s, practices are not that.
Especially
no,
not
no,
at this point in the season.
I just think at the end of the day, niggas is tired, bro. Like Jalen's fatigued. He was fatigued. He battling with some other injuries. One thing led to
So
another.
now
He got
what,
a quarterback
though,
break.
Melo? So now what? Right?
Jalen,
Like-
sit your ass out. Get ready for the playoffs. We locked in at 3.
Yeah.
But
Cool. Stay there.
At this point, Mikal can't miss no games. Like
Mikal can't miss no
Nah, he
games.
can't.
at this point, no, you can't.
If you ain't hurt. But
He the
to
wrong
his
person to
defense-
ask. He the wrong person to ask.
to
That's
his-
really what it was.
No, look,
He's the wrong person to ask.
To his defense, he didn't say that he wanted to sit out.
Correct.
I know.
He
I understand
said,
that.
Yo, we got other guys who should be starting to get ready for the playoffs as well. So we don't have to play that much. Let's build them up to get ready for the playoffs.
So you the wrong person to ask.
That's the political answer.
Y'all talking about media
The other side
narratives,
of
though.
that is, man, I'm tired of shit, man. Like, that's Tibbs, what we doing, man? I'm tired of shit. Like,
Y'all talk about media narratives. It's already out there with Tibbs.
Yeah.
And like you said, anybody could have said
man,
that. It coming out of
Tibbs
Mikal
been
Bridges.
Tibbs forever. He adapted to what's going on today.
I think so too. He
He
don't get enough
adapted
credit.
to practice
to.
and players and like
You have to.
opening relationships with players. Like Tibbs ain't never had that shit.
Nah.
Okay? So now coming here, he understands like this is new time. This is a new game. I'm dealing with different type of people and players, personalities. So I have to give some type of leeway. I'm still gonna coach, but I got to give some type
I don't
of
think he
leeway.
meant it like with how we talking about it. Like he just
Mikal did.
No, but I'm
he
just saying. He didn't,
Yeah,
but
Well,
I
he
want him
dropped
to
30 in the
fuck-
game
you
winner
read
after
between the
that.
lines.
I'm reading between the lines because I was that. You was that.
Right.
And I stood on that wall.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I understood Nah, I won't. I'm not saying that. Nigga, I'm playing. The Thibs don't take me out. I'd rather you argue about me coming out the game. You know what I mean? Me wanting to come out the game or not wanting to come out the game.
Well, I think Bridges said all that because he sees the Knicks' potential, right?
He's tired, bro. Like, I understand. He's tired, man. He's tired,
Even if
bro.
he is tired, the Knicks, their goal is championship. Their goal is what can we do to get past the Celtics, to get past the Cavaliers. So I guess I want to ask you guys, what's one thing that you would change about this Knicks team that you think would maximize their playoff potential, especially given their much talked about record against the Cavs, against the Celtics, against the teams over 500?
Health.
Okay.
Who are you talking about, Jalen?
As a team, we want to go healthy. You know what I mean? We want to be healthy. If I'm Thibs, I'm telling everybody, look, do what we got to do from here on to the end of the season. Getting our body rights, doing what we got to do. Let's get sharp. If you got to take a couple days off, take a couple days off.
Here's my thing on the Menace Police thing. It's not like this team is running away with games.
No.
They stay right there.
They're only 2.5 ahead of Indiana.
I'm saying, like, in terms of so-and-so should be playing because the team is up 20. The other night, we're at the Garden, they gave up that 33-point lead and they got tricky.
The Wizards?
Yeah, the Wizards, right? Ultimately, they won. But I think Thibs, for all of the adapting of the modern NBA, there's a level of trust and there's a lead in which he feels comfortable.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I think you got to keep guys on the floor unless you are putting your foot on people's necks, and they have not been doing that, especially since Jalen went out.
That is a great point. And to that point, Thibs is a loyal guy. He's going to who he's loyal to. Who I know is going to be ready in this situation. This time of the year, Thibs understands what we can do. We ain't, to your point, we ain't running away with games. So I got to still coach and balance what my players is, what one of my top players is saying, right? Without making it any issues. I got to balance that. But I also have to coach. So my message would be, if we ain't winning by 15, 20 every night.
Right.
I gotta go with what I trust. And what I trust is Mikal Bridges. What I trust is OG. What I trust is my guys out there on the court. So Thibs ain't trying to hear none of that other shit. I'm going with what I trust because y'all as a team is not really doing what y'all supposed to do.
Okay.
If you want to have that time and less minutes and let's get out the gate. Let's win by 10 plus. Let's be 15 plus. Now you can let the bench come in. But right now you're supposed to be tightening up the screws, not loosening the screws.
Yeah, right. I mean, to their defense though, like this is the time of the year where them lineups get shitty, man. Them teams that ain't got, not a chance, they throwing out there some crazy lineups. You got people you never heard of.
So it's a bigger 30. Question. It's a bigger question. Then.
Yeah, but you got those like the younger players. They're letting the leash off. Like, yo, go out there and see what you can do.
I have a bigger question for you with that.
Like it's hard to coach too. It's really hard to coach against that.
Do we cut those games out? Like, is it This is what I'm saying because
showing up that season.
At the end of the day, what's happening is, and we seeing it. And we know, we've been in it.
Yeah.
And y'all see it as fans. The last 10, 12 games, 15 games, guys is done already.
Yeah.
It's teams who are completely checked out by All-Star weekend. So to have teams travel and force them to play, and now the guys who's been there, the veteran guys, the money guys, they ain't playing. They like, man, we ain't got nothing. We not got nothing.
On one end, you got that. On the other end, you got, damn, it ain't playoffs yet. Like, yo,
100%.
Right. So and then you got. Now it's a fine line between your stars playing who's really playing for something versus a team with the stars is not playing and putting them young guys or putting guys that's out there to play against guys who's ready to go for the playoffs.
What's the number?
Fine line.
What's the number? It's not 82 no more.
It's not 82.
What's the number?
65 to 68.
I was thinking 65.
Y'all went that low?
65 to 68.
Like 72.
It's like the first 10 games of the season and the last 10 games of the season, they look so similar.
No. Opening week is the best week.
I mean, but there's some BS results where it's like, all right, we'll see a team that, like, oh man, did they turn the corner this year? Then he'd be great. And then it gets to January, February, March. It's like, all right, that's not the same team.
Nah, I'm going to tell you when it gets whack. I'm going to tell you when it gets whack.
The NBA calendar, according to Carmelo Anthony.
It gets whack. So you have these phases of opening the first month of the season, couple weeks of the season, you start getting real basketball. That's when You know, everybody went to big games, the matchups, and the showcase games.
Crowd time.
The money time.
Yeah.
Then it gets a little break. Then they go to like Thanksgiving and, you know, that little break right there. You know, everybody watching football. Guys are starting to figure it out. Guys are still getting in shape.
Yeah.
Christmas is when guys really start to turn it up.
Okay.
Because that's when most of the fans is like locked in to the game. Now that January, end of January, like the last, like last week of January, All-Star Weekend.
Oh,
shitty basketball. That's the whack part of the season right there. That's when guys just like, man, if you losing, you like, man, we got to get to this. We got to get to the break.
Yeah.
If you win it, you want to keep. You know what I mean? You want to get. You want to get to the break. You want to tighten it up a little bit. But that January, February, going into All-Star Weekend. That's the whack part of the season. That's the whack part, and now is the whack part of the season.
So you got a month after All-Star to get you good basketball.
Start the league on Christmas. Opening night, Christmas.
Even though we're going to compete with NFL forever now?
We're going to do that anyway.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yo, random thought,
Start the league on Christmas, and now you can go through, maybe take it further a little at June later, a week or two in July.
Yeah. Random thought though.
Okay. Take like 4th of July is a major holiday.
Game 7, 4th of July.
Game 7, 4th of July. Like, start. I'm saying it's about moments now, right? We want to get back moments. The game is about to change. The way that people tell the game, the way
random two thoughts.
Now you compete with Major League Baseball. Now you compete with the midsummer.
Competing with Major League Baseball.
I'm just saying. That's the reason why I was there before.
Your dog bit the shit out of you. I'm just looking
for real. He's sorry. We got to the dog park. Nobody else was there. I think he lost his mind. But
Second one. I'm just thinking about Mikal Bridges again, man. Oh God. If Thibs play him 20 minutes one game, he go 2 for 12. He gonna be mad as shit.
You know what I mean? No, fuck
that. I'm just random.
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes I can say random shit. Hey,
that's what I do. But
man, well, shout out to the
moral of the story is, Mikal, your ass is tired. Listen, you might need a couple days. You can go have a couple days. Get your body right. Get your mind right. Cat get right. Jalen get right. You know what I mean? Now you can start seeing a picture.
If you say we have
to be healthy,
it's a problem.
Fuck the minutes. You just have to be healthy going into the postseason.
They're going to get the week between the end of the regular season and the playoffs starting.
Take 2 days.
Nah. You need
more than that?
Because that's really hell week. And not hell week, but that's like lock-in week. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to practice that.
Well,
you in there all day. You in the gym
If you believe in your teammates right now, the way that you just said the guys on the bench should be playing, then take off right now.
Oh, y'all are saying miss a game.
Miss a game. What?
Okay.
He ain't going to do that, though.
That's not, I was going to say, that's not
2 practices. If you got 2 practices in a row,
so don't complain about it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
and I don't think it's a complaint, but like I'm reading between the lines as somebody who's been in your shoes and understand what you're really trying to say. What you're really saying is, I'm tired. My guys is tired, which is why Jalen might be getting hurt, which is why Cat might be getting, like, we're tired. We can't come out and just say it. We are very intelligent and understand. We have a college education. You understand? We not gonna ruffle them feathers like that. But here's how we gonna say, I want my bench to play. I want the guys on the bench to play a little bit more. I can't tell you I'm tired.
Straight up
I can't tell you I'm tired.
All right. That's NBA's by Carmelo Anthony. Speaking a very different language. After being on the market since winning the championship last June, the Boston Celtics have finally found new ownership in Bill Chisholm. Ooh. The $6.1 billion price tag set a brand new record for NBA franchise valuation. What does the sale mean for the future of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? If this season doesn't end in a title, is it over? One thing I want to bring up, the Dallas Mavericks were just recently sold. You see what happened when they were trading players away. You know, a lot of times this new ownership story came in, and I felt like it kind of went under the radar. It was like one of those things where it's like, all right, this is a great team who has championship aspirations that got new ownership, and sometimes ownership ain't on the same page as the front page. They got their own sort of ambitions and whatnot. Like, team ownership affects a lot in the NBA. So I just want to throw it out to you guys. Do you think it'll end up affecting this really, really good Boston Celtics team, especially the way that they're built?
No.
Why you say it's Boston when Kaz was laying out that question? You was just
Yeah,
like,
you
it's
caught
Boston.
that. You caught that. Okay.
that.
Very intuitive. So I say that because I don't like talking about Boston like this,
Me
but it's
neither.
from a different perspective.
Pains me to talk about Boston
When you
positively.
think about the history of Boston, right? All the great players and great things that happened in the Celtics organization,
Mm-hmm.
from Bill Russell all the way up until Jason Tatum and the cell of this team. Bill Russell arguably is the greatest player of all time. Don't get that, right?
It doesn't.
Larry Bird is arguably a top 3, 4, 5, top 5 small forward of all time in this game of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He's still underrated.
You said 3, 4, 5. I know the reason he slid down is because you put yourself in
there.
Come on, champ.
He's making a very eloquent point. Here you go.
I'm already in there. I mean,
I read between the lines, though. That's what I'm in for.
I am in one of them. I ain't got we good.
Right.
We
I
know
just
the
go from 3 to 5, and they put just come on, man.
And no order. No order.
There was other ways to describe Larry Bird.
no,
He's
yeah,
very specific with those
He's
words.
really good, Melo. All right, go ahead.
He's a top 5 small forward of all time. Right?
3 to 5.
Very under the radar.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce, champion. Great player.
Right.
Very under the radar. Don't get the credit he deserved.
I hate hearing good things about Paul Pierce.
Jason Tatum, very good winner.
So it's a
Probably
trend.
have
It's
the
a
best 6-year run out of anybody, maybe in the history of the NBA. Arguably.
And still doesn't
No, it
get
really
talked
does.
about in
Still
those
don't
circles.
the credit.
Because it's Boston.
Boston Celtics sells for $6.1 billion.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that shit is underneath of this rug right here. It's Boston. It's something about Boston that is just everything is thrown. They don't get the credit that they really deserve. Right? For that organization, $6.1 billion, a Boston Celtics organization, man. If I'm gross, I'm getting the hell out of here too. 6.1 here. You can have this shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What that does is that puts the league on alert. That makes somebody like Dolan sit back and like,
Yeah.
20, 15. If you really want it, what?
No.
New York? Rudy.
Boston Celtics
Knicks?
over 6.1.
Yeah.
You can't. You buying every person you just said. You buying that history when you,
You
buy the
buying the
Celtics.
Knicks history,
But don't nobody
bro.
cares what he
You
just
are
said.
buying
My point
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
they
You're
don't,
still
nobody care
buying that
about
history though. You
They
can't.
care, but it's like, okay, it's a nod
They
to them. All right, cool.
They the most like decorated team-wise, decorated team in NBA history.
Nobody's
they're
taking that
founding
in. That
franchise
makes my
league.
point even stronger.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying you think Dolan thinking 20. No, you
What?
got 6 is 6. That's Boston
First of all,
6.
there's-
Now, Boston 6 is a Memphis 2.
So what does that mean for the Knicks then? What's
Yeah.
your evaluation?
I ain't buying the Knicks. I don't know.
Boston
I ain't got it
6.
like that.
Boston 6, that means Knicks is at least double that.
Easily.
Maybe. That's at the base level.
Rudy.
Easily.
You gotta
Rudy.
stop
Don't
this,
let this
Rudy.
non-New York bias fool you.
I don't know, man. Just-
You gotta stop that. The Knicks right now, when I was with the Knicks,
Bro.
when I was playing with the Knicks, they could have sold for $8 billion.
Yeah.
8. That was 10, almost 10 years
Should've
ago.
sold that shit.
Dolan just did the Roommates podcast recently
He
with Jalen
did.
Brunson and John Sharp. He said he'll never sell the team. He'll keep it in the family,
I wouldn't either.
but he'll never sell it.
But
Why
just
would
let
he?
me in. I wouldn't either. Let me in a little bit. Like, let me get that, you know what I mean?
know what you
I'm
buying?
trying to get that.
Percentage.
Let me
You
get
buying
that
history with the
seed. Let me
Knicks,
get
too.
that slide.
Well, now I think about you buying history with the Knicks too.
And then,
That's
It's more
for
than
sure.
just basketball
history.
history,
Like,
though.
that's the ultimate history.
It's more than just basketball with the Knicks though.
It's history. It's
I get
tradition.
it, but every
Culture.
team is not like this.
Boston is not
you can't think the Clippers
culturally
are
relevant.
Thinking the same thing. They not.
Boston is not
They can't.
culturally relevant when it comes to
That's why I'm saying.
New
That's why
York.
I changed my stance. Yeah, Knicks. Yes.
Look at us.
15 billion.
15.
At least 12.
If he wanted to. Now he can just laugh.
do we
he
have
already
like-
said I ain't
Do we
selling
have
it.
like a list of like
That's
team
what makes it
evaluations
more
that we can
valuable
pull up
because he
here
said he
real
ain't
quick?
selling it.
50 Cent said it the best.
What?
Always act like you don't need nothing.
Right.
Because that's when you get everything. Dolik went on the podcast and said, I'm not selling this fucking team.
Mind you, he does
Never,
no
ever.
media.
How many times they
ever.
been like,
it's
I ain't
people
trading
in
this
the, it's
person
people in the world
in the
that
next
sit-
Sale is different though.
it's people in the world
no,
that
it
think
ain't.
that sat there and watched that interview.
It's business.
Hold on,
of
Rudy.
course.
It's people that sat there and watched the interview and said, "Oh, he think he ain't got a price."
Because there's also some other news that could impact that price. But anyway.
Holla.
Talk about it.
Hello.
Talk about it.
I love my job. I love my job.
Come on. Talk to me. I'm
I don't
talking
think I'm
to
going to sell.
I ain't gonna put it out
you.
there.
Took me
But
back. Suspend the
we
block
talking
back
$1
on
million
Boston.
man once said
No,
everybody got a price.
Suspend the block back on Boston. My point is, they don't get the credit to answer your question of why I said that. They don't get the credit that they deserve when it comes to just them, just being Celtics. You get what I'm saying? They
Why is
have
that?
all the people.
Why is that then, though?
People
Because it
don't
is-
like to root for Boston.
I think they just
Boston
the most.
people.
They're the most hated.
They just don't like
No,
this.
I was like, let's talk about it as basketball people.
Yes.
Right?
Take
Because like
aside everything.
fans,
Yeah.
Boston, when it was the Patriots and the Celtics, are like, yeah, you get sick of them as a town in terms of winning.
There's a handful of franchises in the NBA that nobody will feel bad for if they have some down years. The Celtics are one of them.
And they the ones
And the
that,
Celtics never have down
and
years.
they the ones that's worth the most.
Yeah, like they have
Just
what, 18
quietly,
champions, 19?
quietly, but that's a testament to their organization too. That
Right.
they do a lot of things quietly. They move a certain type of way. They ain't loud with it. Like none of their players is loud ever. Was loud. Bill Russell,
About
because he was
blackness.
about what he was supposed to be
That
loud.
wasn't
Right.
even loud. That's just telling the truth.
get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a different
It
type
was
of
listening.
loud.
Shout out to Boston though, man, because it is incredible when you really look
That
at it,
is,
put in
that
perspective
is.
how they don't.
6.1. Whew.
I want to say this though.
6.1 for Boston.
When it comes to the Boston Celtics, right? Like
Who
I
was the
said,
guy? What's his
Bill Chisholm?
Private equity, right?
private equity?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's another thing people ain't talking about.
Private equity?
Private equity is gonna come in and now fuck the game up.
Mhm,
They're gonna change the game
mhm.
because that money is a lot different with private equity.
Yeah, it is.
You can raise now. You can raise and raise and raise and raise, and you got people that really want to be into sports.
Yeah, holla at the W, man.
Mm.
Holla at the W.
Mhm.
That's why the W gotta get
That's
it
why you
right.
gotta get with
You're
them.
right.
You gotta have a
Yeah.
clear-cut plan. This is the
Yeah.
strategy. This is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it. And people could actually visualize and see it
Yeah,
on paper,
right.
and they can go and invest in it how they want to invest. But shout out to Boston, man. Knicks ain't for sale, but 12, you know what I
Thank you,
mean?
Melo.
It's other teams that, you know.
All right, let me toss this out there. I don't know Bill Chisholm, but congratulations to him, new owner of the Boston Celtics. And we've seen what happened with the Dallas Mavericks recently with their new ownership and the changes they've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what happened with the Phoenix Suns,
Mhm.
their changes when they had ownership and the change they tried to make after buying a new team. In your experiences, how can a good owner and a bad owner really affect
that's
what
a great
happens
question right there.
on the court?
That's a great question. I want to buy the Wizards first of all. Let me just say that.
All right, let's put that out there.
I'll be a great owner, by the way.
Come on now.
Wizards.
Pitch yourself. Why are you a great owner?
I'm a former player.
Uh-huh.
I understand players. I understand personnel. I understand strategy. I understand being strategic. I understand how to build teams, right? But I also understand what I don't understand, right? I know what I
Okay.
don't know. So with that, you also have to put people in those positions, in every position, right? President, GM, like they have to have some type of basketball. Like, I'm saying for me,
Yeah, some
I'm
sort of
hiring
basketball
people who
acumen.
basketball acumen, and then you put all the basketball acumen in those positions, and then you cover that with business minds,
Yeah.
right? And so now you create these levels, right? The business mind can never
Man, don't
question
give up the formula, man.
the business
You
mind
give
can
up the
never
formula right
question.
now.
It can never question the basketball minds,
Right.
right? But it has to be a connection between the two. So with that, you put those people in play, all right? Now the equity comes in because now you gotta create these experiences, fan experience. A lot of owners don't put that work in to create fan experience. They hire somebody, yo, go tell me what to do. What's the end game experience today? Hey, let's put Rudy on the screen. It's like, let's get a halftime show. It's like, this is how they still operate. Like, no, you gotta be, from the minute my fans walk down the block, getting to 2 blocks away, you're gonna have this full experience of being able to go into my arena.
That's why I got to give it to the Clippers owner.
Hold on, I got two.
And then also you have to have the right personnel in there on the business side, how to do contracts, personnel, scouts. You need all of that, right? But you also need people who got eye tests too, champ.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times I'm talking about me. I'm just saying
that eye test, and you have to have the pulse of that city. I hate keep using them as an example.
Yes.
But we see what's happening with Dallas.
Yes.
And believing, no matter how great you think a
Yes.
pair of Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis could do, Luka Doncic had an emotional connection to that city.
Yes.
That you might have turned a generation of fans off
no, because he was drafted there, so he was.
Of course.
It's like this is
Their
we
baby.
watch him
It's their
grow.
baby.
So this brings me to my question to you,
Yes.
future owner. And you,
Wizards.
Rudy. Our Wizards, bring my home team back to life.
Come on now. Come on
Tell the
now.
youngsters
I got
Queen
five
Zach
on
to
it.
call me up.
I got 5 on it.
Are we? Because this is
I
my
got you,
thing.
Rudy.
I think
We got
sometimes in
deep.
sport
I ain't
we
say
feel like
nothing. I
we've
already know.
moved faster than we have in terms of progress.
Yes.
So my thing to y'all would be: are we at a place in the NBA, WNBA, whatever league you want to talk about, where owners actually, I don't know if want is the word, but an owner would actually trust you and not be concerned that you are too pro player? Because I feel like owners still have to make decisions. They still making decisions based on the league, based on other owners. Like, it's not all pro player.
No. The pro player is just for my own individual experience with my team, right? That's where my IQ comes in at. When I'm building my team. Now, when I got to go talk to these owners, it's a whole nother conversation because you have to think from an owner standpoint now. You have to understand, like, it's not just you. It's 29 other owners that's out there that's in this together. And you might have a couple who may not be, agreeable with everything. So you have these hubs in between 30 owners who not agreeing with everybody and what everything do, right? So I think whoever's the owner, in my situation, if I was that, you would have to really tap into the actual community. It's like we try to change shit so much and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Let's get back to bringing the players back, the ex-former players. Let's get back to having these experiences. Let's get back to having opening night, free night with the fans. Like, let's have these dinners with, like, we used to do all of that.
Right.
We didn't want to do it.
I was gonna say willingly.
No. But I'm saying now when you look back at it, we realize how the fans was actually able to experience us. We didn't want to do this shit.
Yeah.
But because we complained about this shit, they take it away. So now that experience is no longer there.
I'm glad
So I just think it's little
Gotta
shit.
ruin the league, Melo.
You gotta get back into the community, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get back. You gotta get people to really believe in what you're doing and your vision. And I think a lot of people in these situations, they just buy the team and they back out and they get out of it because it's a fine line. Do I partake in what's going on? Do I utilize my skill set every single day as an owner, or do I fall back?
So this is like the question we have every year around a draft. How much of what you're speaking of, say you do join Monumental Sports Ownership Group, right? How much of what you're speaking of is the fact that y'all hit in terms of adding guys to the roster that also value that?
Yes.
Versus this is the culture and this is how we do it. Because at where I sit, media member, fan, all of that, dudes show up to the league, they getting their paychecks. If it's not who they are in terms of want to be engaging with the community, like willing to do that kind of stuff, it's tough to force them beyond practices and games, is my observation.
Bring the fans to them.
Yeah.
Bring them to the practice facility. That's why we have beautiful practice facilities.
Okay.
Bring them to the practice facility. Let them see open practice. Let them sit there. Let them have Knicks Day, have Wizards Day, where the fans is free and you players don't want to go nowhere.
Okay.
So you bring it to them in a sense. You put it outside in a parking lot and have this whole experience and cookouts and like you really got to give back. Okay. You also you got to battle with the athletes too because the athletes don't want to do shit.
Yeah, you got to make them feel like the fans feel like they're a part of it. Like because that's what you say we fuss about it, but that's what it's getting away from. Like people they just go in there and hoop, man. We don't see them or nothing. So have people come see them. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, this is my favorite player. It don't have to be the person that everybody feel like it's their favorite player. It can be any player on there, but I connect with this person because I see this person. You know what I mean? I think that's what we got to get back to.
But to your question, what's the fine line between? It's more so of, it's really where we being drafted at, right? If we're in the draft room, it's like what picks we have.
Okay.
Like, give me a pick. Give me a pick.
In the lottery? What you mean? Like a late pick?
Anything. Just if it's a
middle
pick,
of the first round.
Okay.
Middle of the first round. I'm going to go at that point. You go draft the best player.
Best available.
Yeah.
You draft the best player and you figure it out from there. You don't overthink the middle of the pack.
Okay.
You don't overthink a mid-first round unless you really see something like this kid could really come in and impact what we actually have going on. You don't overthink it. You take the talent, You take the skill,
Mm-hmm.
and you take the potential. Don't try to force him into this circle of
Mm-hmm.
being who you want that draft pick to be.
Mm.
That's the thing.
Okay, so then circle this all the way back to our conversation about Boston.
Yes.
They have a culture
Yes.
or they have drafted well.
They have a culture which allows them to draft well. Because when you know your culture, you know the strategy. You know what's the assignment. So the assignment is this is our culture. We only stand within this culture. We're going to draft this type of personality. We're going to draft this person. We're going to draft this type of player, this skill set.
Okay.
So when you have that culture, you know who fits that culture. We could look at teams and culture who got cultures in every sport and be like, nah, he don't fit that culture. He don't fit the Miami Heat culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't fit Thibs' culture.
Yeah.
He's not a Boston guy. Like, he got to get out of there. Like,
I'm
it's
definitely not a Boston guy.
right. But this is why we say that.
Okay. All right. Come on, Melo. Ownership group.
Good job.
Bring this back to life.
That was
was very
I
astute.
think the Wizards is a fun.
Very
That's one that's you could start with a project like that and really build it because it has culture. It's one of the most cultural
places in the
country.
Yeah.
So it's like
Beautiful city,
to
man.
get that and
Black
to get
beautiful.
somebody who's connected back to that area and really understand what that area really needs and the way that they understand sports, basketball
in
football,
particular. Yes.
baseball, lacrosse, like that's a sports hub right there. That may be the greatest sports hub in America.
They could be a real DMV sports renaissance.
We deserve
I will
a good
work
protein.
Capitals.
Come on.
as a Baltimorean.
Look at the camera. Come on.
I will work with DC, Virginia, DC, Virginia, Maryland. I will work with everybody. It will be ours.
I support this message.
You understand?
Ain't no better way to wrap it up.
That last message was sponsored by 1800 and everything else that sponsored Melo.
You had to give the Bill Clinton thumbs up after that.
This bracket season, FanDuel is letting you make the call because right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to bet on everything from clutch shots to last-second heartbreaks and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join, there's no better time. There's tourney action almost every day, and FanDuel has amazing bet types like spreads, totals, game props, and so much more. This past weekend, we saw some great action and some wild upsets, like number 10 ranked Arkansas beating number 2 ranked St. John's. Shout out to Boogie. UConn, the defending champs, also took an L to number 1 seed Florida. Shout out to Clayton. Now that the Sweet 16 is set, I'm checking out some odds. It looks like Coach Cal and his Arkansas squad are peaking at the right time. FanDuel has them at a plus 950 to win the West region. So if you're feeling good about their run, head over to FanDuel and lock in your bet. Just visit FanDuel.com/7PM and get in on the college hoops action all tourney long. If you love watching players get buckets, then you're going to love this promo from DoorDash. This season, Dash Pass members will receive a special promotion every time a player scores 50 points or more in the game during the regular season.
Listen up, all right, because this is a Dash Pass members only deal. So sign up today and save more all year round with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders.
The offer is as follows. When any player scores 50 or more points in the game during the 24-25 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members save 50% on an order the next day, up to $10 off. So lock in now so you can take part in this deal.
Make sure you use the promo code NBA50 the day after the 50-point game. The offer is valid with use of promo code from noon to midnight the day after 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. You must have an active Dash Pass account and terms apply.
There's only 3 weeks left in the regular season, and with teams fighting for the playoffs, I expect to see some big performances down the stretch. So sign up for Dash Pass today for your chance to take part in this exclusive DoorDash deal. They swoosh, you save.
Guys, during an episode of the great Club 520 podcast, shout out to those guys, Jeff Teague shared that analytics were to blame for his run in Minnesota ending. He explained that he got traded for taking mid-range jumpers, which went against what the Timberwolves analytics.
You're not gonna let him read without laughing?
I feel like a lot of shit is shot at me with these.
I mean, hey,
Bro,
you got a lot of.
I'm not gonna lie. I was reading this last night. Shout out to our producer Dom, and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh. Ooh, Melo, I know he got tea on this.
I know he gonna have something to say.
I know he got tea on this.
The T right here. The only thing that can limit you is believing that you are limited. You see how the universe works, man? You see that? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cam.
Let me shoot outside of the mid-range. See, according to Jeff, quote, analytics took blank him out. Melo, Rudy, do you guys have any stories from the analytics pushing you out of the game, or have you seen firsthand on teams you've been on?
Catch the lob, champ.
Well, I'm a mid-range guy myself, so
yeah.
I've gone to situations where that wasn't allowed, but
don't be vague.
Yeah, like, come on, bring us in. Bring us in. Talking about when
how does this go? And how does this go? Because y'all are obviously the dude all your careers, right. And suddenly somebody's like, "Hey, don't take that shot no more."
I mean,
how they told you?
That's not a good shot.
That's crazy.
If I make it, it's a good shot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, when we be real, Spurs didn't like it. Spurs didn't like it, and Utah didn't like it either. But, we was in the middle of that, that whole sway of, like, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So...
The currification of basketball.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for me to be like, yo, I'm a
word. Yeah,
trademark that stuff.
It wasn't even easy for me to be like, yo, something I've been doing my whole life. I gotta stop doing it. No, this is what got me here, and that's where, the tension, with certain situations got for me. But I understand how you feel. But
especially he's a point guard, right?
Being a point guard,
that's the only shot you got.
Shot you got. Then they took out the floater too. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like, so it limits some people and it opens some people up. I think it made the game more, less competitive.
Ooh,
less competitive.
Hey, culturally, to your point, that's San Antonio culture, right? Forever.
So is that?
So they've been that. So we talking about culture, right? Yeah. They've been threes, free throw, or to the basket.
This is my self-reflection.
No, absolutely. No, what I'm saying is, my point is, you got caught in that culture. You got caught in that.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
did you know that going in? Like when you arrived in San Antonio, was that something that crossed your mind?
I just tore my Achilles, so it was bigger than that for me. It was more like a health thing and trying to work myself back into being healthy, but just being a part of it. And there's parts of my game that have grown because of that. Well, did grow because of that. But it did take a lot of what I knew and what got me there out of my game. So it was I could see how Teague felt a certain way about that. You know what I mean?
So as a player, when they told you that, right?
Yes, and this was year what in the league?
Yes.
Keep going.
It's like year 11, 12.
Okay, so you've been doing it.
Yeah, 11, 12. You've been doing it.
Yeah.
But now you come back from being injured. Now you coming back from being injured.
Okay,
hold up. But is your mindset, because this is for players, was your mindset like, I gotta get to my spots because I gotta get to where I'm comfortable at. I gotta work on this. Not fuck what everything is, but I know they want corner threes and I know they want this. But in order for me to feel good personally,
this is my bread
and butter.
But you know how it is when you're in the game. You got to get to your spot. You got to get to where you.
That's why I asked
right?
that.
See, the year prior, before I tore my Achilles, I had George Carl. He was the same way.
Yeah,
I just didn't give a fuck. I was going to do what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna get to me. But going to a different situation, coming off injury, and then having to fit into a different kind of system and culture.
That was a tough part.
That was a tough part.
That was a tough part.
I couldn't be like, that fuck it button you push in the game, that's what gets you by sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I ain't hitting. You might be
I'm getting to my spot.
Yeah, you might be 2 for 15. Like, fuck it. Now you have a good game. You know what I'm saying? Or you hit that game winning shot. That's that fuck it button. But when you're dealing with outside things, you can't always do that. So that was the biggest thing for me. So like, yeah, for certain players, like you said, like it's who you draft. That necessarily wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but they didn't draft you. So
I know. I went there. That's why I said self-reflection.
Absolutely.
So
in their mind, they like,
we can make him do it.
He's older. He's more inclined to doing what we want him to do.
Right.
Without us even forcing it on him. Right? It's just Rudy, that we don't want those. We want, you know what I mean? Because you've been in the game and you're a vet, you're supposed to automatically
That's what they're bringing you in for.
Yeah.
If you're not a high draft pick,
I'm just going to go.
franchise
I ain't shoot
player
a
guy.
corner three in 5 years. I stand still corner three. But you want me to go do that? I'm going to try to do that.
Okay.
Now, if it's uncomfortable, don't force me to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the disconnect in this situation. Like, at his point, they told him that's not a good shot. Right. In my situation, no.
For real?
Huh? It's a clip. It's a clip. Preseason, Houston.
I remember that.
This is when they first told me.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Wait. If we had that,
No,
clip, can we
listen,
please?
It's funny now.
Can you break this down now?
I'm going to break it down to you.
Yeah, okay.
So I get to Houston,
Okay.
and it's not always about me. Sometimes I say random shit. I get to Houston. The talk is you the missing piece. Right?
Okay.
CP, James, Tuck, Capella. You is to that piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eric Gordon was there.
Mm-hmm.
Couple other pieces. Now, when we get there, we have like a little mini camp. We go to the Bahamas and have a mini camp,
Sounds good.
right? But we serious in the mini camp in the Bahamas because we know I'm coming here to win. Like, I'm coming here to win. Y'all just had an opportunity. This is why we're here. So we locked in mini camp. In mini camp, shit is happening. Get to preseason now. I think we like in Alabama. We about to play Memphis in like Alabama. Some shit like that. In my mind, I'm like, it's preseason. It's first preseason game, man. I just want to let me find the rhythm. Like, let me get my legs up.
Get
Let
my
me shoot.
feet
Let me
wet.
shoot a fade away. Let me turn around. You know what I mean?
Oh, you thought.
Oh, I thought. But because in minicamp, this is what was going on. And now it looks like, oh, this is good. Like, oh, shit, we getting this? Okay. Now we working. We get to preseason. And I just feel so good about, like, coming into this season and, like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go play for a championship. Man, I get it. Shot fake, 1-2 dribble, pull up, bang. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, now I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go this season. They like, no! It's a clip of me laughing, running back down the court, like, yo, my bad. And I caught myself. I had to catch myself. And this is where, like, the ego comes into play. Because I'm like, you want me to take away everything that I built my career off of, my game. This is why people know me. This is why people would want me on a team to bring this right here. Especially with this team. This is what is missing. You missing a post-up guy. You missing somebody who can draw double teams. You missing somebody who can score 4 or 5 different levels. Along with James and CP and Capella.
Yeah.
Like, it was a hell of a situation.
Yeah.
So for me to come back and practice that week, and they put something on the board that says mid-range shots. They break it down. Oh, shots per game. Certain amount of threes, say 40, 50, 40 threes. Boom. If we have 90 possessions in the game, 40 to 50 threes.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Free throws.
That's insane.
Right?
That's
Fast
an average
breaks.
now.
Right? All of this is like broken down. Like what we should score on fast breaks per game, what we should score on free throws per game. How we get into these mid-range? 12 or less.
Out of 90?
Listen, just use 80. Just say 80. Say 70.
Yeah.
I just use 90 because niggas is shooting 90 times a day. But say 60 games. I mean, 60 possessions.
This is the problem.
Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, Rudy.
Okay,
Hold on. No, because this is the part that people don't understand.
Okay.
Right? When and they say mid-range shots, 2-pointers, 12 or less. So now I'm sitting there. Okay. They break down the mid-range. Who gets to shoot mid-range? Okay. If it's 12 mid-range shots a game, James don't shoot 2s.
Nah.
Right? CP and me is the only one who do mid-range on that team. Tuck don't. Eric Gordon don't. Capella shoot layup. Me and CP play the middle game. So is this 6-6? I'm thinking, all right, cool. You gonna say CP, you got 6. Melo, you got 6. Nah, we want CP shooting majority of the, because he's really effective and efficient. I say, duh. Duh, we want him to get to his right hand. Like, let's get him to his right hand over here. Like, get him to his bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
But what's up with me? Melo, you know, we gonna throw you 1 or 2 down there. Throw me what?
Ooh.
And so, talking about ego now.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really check my ego. I didn't argue it. I accepted it. They told me I was coming off the bench the day of the game behind PJ Tucker. And I'm like, you brought me here to play alongside PJ Tucker.
Right.
You got rid of Trevor Ariza, and here's the easy plug-in right here. So why am I coming playing behind PJ Tucker? You really feel that way about me. No shun to PJ, but I come here to play alongside these guys. I never had an idea of coming off the bench behind these guys. And that, they didn't know how to react to that in Houston. They thought I was going to flip the house up.
I was about to say,
I came in every single day, smiling, joking with the team, playing, working out before practice, after practice, because you ain't really do shit in practice. It's just, you just running in practice. Running drills, sprints, and run to the corner, shoot a bunch of, you know what I mean? It's like, it's build-ups in practice. So my workout became before and after. So think about the mental aspect of that. You brought me here to win a championship for what I bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tell me, don't bring what you bring to the table. We want to win a championship with how we see you at the table.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Now, I can do what you want me to do. I'm not going to be as effective with that, though.
The workout
I can't shoot. I can't shoot, come out the gate and shoot. I can't shoot 10 to 13 threes a game without me getting to my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm. Like, you need that to warm up to even be able to shoot from deep. Yeah.
It's easy. That's how you work. That's how you warm up in the workout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight
So
up.
you get into your bag it's progressive.
Can I get back to my thought, though?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that was the mental aspect of that, of what you had to battle and deal with that as somebody who was in my position at that point in time.
See, this is the problem.
That's when the shit get fucked up.
If you can sit there and jot down how many people getting shots and where,
That's not good.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
And no knock on any coach or whatever. That's just, it's a bunch of different coaches that can do that. But the reason we got here is off of field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my problem with analytics. It's not the fact that, like, yo, you can go on analytics and fact check whatever, but to build a team off of that is crazy to me. Like, yo, you can't tell me, like, if I get hot, I'm gonna shoot. Like, that's better for the team.
How do you,
You know what I mean?
how would you use analytics?
What lineups work good together?
Okay.
Well, lineups work good together.
Plus minuses and all that type of stuff.
That, but and like, if this person, Mikal Bridges, if he plays this many minutes, how's his production?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not about, what we should do and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, in playoffs, all that shit is out the window. It's whoever makes shots and whatever. I don't care if it's a 2 or a 3. It's who can, like, because we already know your plays.
Of course.
We know what you about to do. It's like, what player you get the ball to, they supposed to be able to get the shots off and get the ball to the right person. That's what playoff basketball is about. That's why they're not scoring 130 points. They're scoring 90, 100, and maybe 110 in the playoffs if it's a blowout. You know what I'm saying? That's why all that shit gets cut down.
I have another addition. I want to add on to that. And we can move on after this, unless you have something.
No, because I got a question. Go ahead.
Yeah,
So because of that, when it comes to the actual analytics of the game, they're missing a feel for the game, right? It's missing a feel. The way you use analytics, is to his point, is load management. And I know it's a negative connotation around load management, but you use that for load management. You use that to say, yo, Mikal, you're low, you know what I mean? You at your peak when it comes to your load management. Like, we got to start dumbing it down. We got to figure out how we going to bring your numbers back down. Those are analytics. Analytics on guys who you talk about the middle of the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
The middle of the pack guys, and not talent-wise, but just it's a lot more people in the middle of the pack than it is up top. So the middle of the pack, when it comes to that, that's when you use the analytics because it's very similar around here. Who can shoot? I need a corner three-pointer from the right corner. Who is that guy within these analytics that I can go to that has the best percentage of shooting from the right corner? That's how you use the analytics. A lot of times you can't use analytics with guys who have 75, 80, 85% of control of the basketball.
Yeah.
Right? When you shooting 20-something times, you can't use analytics.
No.
Because you can't garner what is effective and what's not effective unless you actually saw the game.
Yeah.
It's taking the creativity. From
Absolutely.
The
So if I score 40 points in the game and it looks 2-4 or 6-4, whatever, at the end of the day, you wasn't there to tell me how the flow of the game was happening. Was you double team? What was happening? Where you missed the shots from? What was the attention to details on you? What was the defensive strategy? Analytics can't take that, can't give you that. So it takes the emotional aspect out of it.
I want to add to both of your points. That's just one example of analytics using, a team using analytics. I think from a fan perspective, the way analytics just became, the league's a copycat league, everybody sort of adopted it. I think the biggest sort of effect analytics has had on the NBA is that it's made the game very homogenous.
Yes.
It definitely turned it into, teams used to have personalities, identities about themselves that wasn't just like, all right, we're going to get as much open threes, as much fast break points as we possibly can. Like, you used to have to actually strategize against the team who had a great post-up game or a great, point guard play or whatever it is, the analytics of it, the fact that there was a chart of shots to be taken and where.
No, the fact that you spent
is
summer
wild to me.
No. The fact that you took these analytics from last year and saw what worked and what didn't work from a numbers standpoint, and you brought that into this year, which is why you were able to see the graph and say, but you have the whole summer to come up with ways on how we're actually going to do this.
I think
what is our system?
I think about it the way baseball players think about it, right? Analytics is super beneficial for baseball players. You still need that old dude who could pick up the grass and taste it and be like,
so this
we need a left-hander right there.
This then becomes the segue question. Do y'all think it'll swing back? Because if we look at Boston, currently the reigning champs, they play the numbers games when it comes to their threes.
Yes.
But the idea that every team looks very similar, true. The creativity is has been minimized in the game, true. Nobody wants to play in the mid-range, although I think about DeMar and Kawhi, like guys that are still managing to be very effective in doing it. But do we think that the pendulum will swing back to pure basketball, if I may?
No.
No.
Because the analytics is just going to keep getting better and smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. So whereas though the front office is not going to have to do any work anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to tell.
But y'all just said that's surface to a degree. Honestly, Melo, for all that analytics they tried to put on y'all, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Right? It doesn't work. So to that point, it's not going to swing back because of just analytics. And the more smarter it gets, the more people is going to get smarter to utilize it.
Okay.
Right? So it's still going to get the connectivity, the connection. The human connection is going to continue to be further and further away when it comes to the game and the feel of basketball.
Yeah.
It sounds
now,
terrible.
what that does is it does come back on the flip side. It does come back. That's why in the playoffs, the game is what? Slowed down.
Okay.
What happens in the playoffs? Take the best shot that they give you. It ain't so much emphasis on shooting 40, 53s. Like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But at the end of the day, you got to have somebody in there to get to those spots that nobody could get to. And there's not a lot of people who can actually navigate in those little small spots, which is why Shea is so effective today.
Ooh, yeah, here's a good one. Yeah,
Shea is very effective. He's taking the shot that they giving him. He's not overthinking this shit. If they back up, go under the three, I'm pulling. If they send me left, I'm going left. They send me right, I'm going right. They give me a layup, I'm going. They give me a floater, I'm taking. They give me a pull-up, and that's a basketball player.
Yeah.
You can't take away somebody like the essence of basketball. Take the best shot that's given. If it's a three, it's a three. Now, I understand on the flip side, to Boston's point, a three is a three. If now we a great shooting three-point team, then we want to get the most. We want We want to shoot a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
threes.
that's them. So now I'm going back to Monumental Sports co-ownership group, Carmelo Anthony and the Wizards, rebuilding. You coming into your meeting with your organization and saying,
yeah,
all right, analytics team, show me what you got.
yes.
What are you going to do with that paper? This is effective or this is not effective?
I'm going to observe it. I'm going to analyze it and see what I want out of there to be effective. What I want to utilize that's effective out of there. That's going to enhance my situation.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like analytics should not be in a conversation unless you are a team that's competing. Because other than that, we are building your basketball culture as a pro.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because the Wizards, you need to rip up them analytics.
The Wizards, we ain't bringing listen, I ain't bringing analytics in. That is all I test. I got to trust who I put in those seats to put this team together to say, look, we have to go build the best team that we can possibly build with our salary cap, with our assets and what we can do. This is all eye test and feel. This ain't no analytics shit, right? Analytics got you where you at right now.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Honestly,
This is real eye test and putting real basketball heads in there and putting real people in there who understands the game. Monumental Sports will have their business and they that's what they do. They got there for a reason. But now the basketball guys got to come in and really figure this shit out.
You got to play ball, yo.
You got to play ball. Man, you got to pay to play in a sense, not just money, but you got to pay to play. You know what I mean?
Rudy, this is what we got to
It's your time to shine.
We're going to segue out of there before we offend any more political connects. Rudy, it is your time, champ. We've got another edition of Keeping It
Hot mic, man.
Part of love.
Keeping It Real with Rudy. During this segment, we want you to react to some of the more nuanced things going around on the NBA. And you know what it is. Give us your honest, unfiltered takes. So, you've already given us a spot-on take about
Let me just tell you, I'm sorry, Kaz, I'm interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
Spicy
As
over
the
here.
Phoenix thing has unfolded, that conversation is like haunting that we had in here. Because I was like, damn.
I was pinned
Rudy
on the
said
IG.
that from the
This really
jump.
happened.
Pinned on the IG right
Like-
now. Go to our IG page right this
Yeah,
second.
Rudy. The
You'll
wave
see
all
that.
wins, yeah.
Right,
You'll
wave
see
the
that.
whole thing off.
Wave it off.
So credit to you there, Rudy. Obviously, the Suns are 10th in the West and fighting for a place in the play-in tournament. Frustrations continue to mount, and as Booker put it, quote, talent only gets you so far. I've been on teams with less talent that find ways to get more wins. It's just the little things, end quote. Rudy, what do you think is next for Devin Booker? And we've heard Melo's thoughts on KD to the Wizards.
That's because I'm trying to be the owner.
If you get him back to the Wizards and the community, you winning.
You're one. They'll give you the ownership tomorrow. But in addition to KD, to Melo's thoughts on KD to the Wizards, one half of that super talented duo in Phoenix. What are your thoughts about Book? Does he stay? Does he go? Keep it real, Rudy. What do you think?
Keep it real. I think Book's having one of his worst seasons as a pro. So I think really what he need to do is work on just trying to get back to the Book we know or that he could be. Like at this point, like he's there. He's been in Phoenix. I think he needs to work on just really getting back. Whatever team he has, he needs to get back to being Devin Booker, and which he hasn't been for most of the year, whether it's been injuries or whatever. He needs to, focus in. I don't know what it is. Sometimes guys just go away and focus on different things, try to build something on their game. But, he's so good now, but I still think he can get so much better. And I'm not saying he's the reason why they're losing at all, because he's won. He's been to the finals. But I just feel like, whatever's happening there is affecting him, and it's affecting him negatively. And he just needs to get back to playing basketball. And
Two-part follow-up question there.
Booker.
One, do you think Book is putting up quote-unquote empty stats right now? And two,
they're 10th, yes.
Do you think and two, do you think, we talked about it today, we talked about ownership.
What are we doing?
That's crazy.
Sorry.
We talked about ownership. We talked about things off the court. Like, they have a pretty good winning coach in Phoenix. Booker said they've won with less talented teams. Do you think it's other things affecting them and affecting that organization? The shadow of KD possibly leaving, possibly being traded in the trade deadline. Does all that affect this team
You're
more
so
than
eloquent,
just-
Kaz.
I know. I mean,
eloquent.
the shadow of KD, they about to trade him because they suck. Like,
So
there's
my
no shadow.
follow-up-
There's no shadow. It's just y'all suck. So let's do something. You know what I mean?
Around the trade deadline, and we heard KD talk about this, he was sort of blindsided from, there was maybe one or two, we saw how big the Luka trade was. Now
happens
that
to
came out of
everybody.
nowhere.
Blind.
There was some
KD
talk.
just want to hoop. I told y'all that a long time ago.
Blindsided.
He just wanna
happens to
play
He's
ball.
always been like that, blindsided.
Yeah.
Eloquent follow-up, straightforward follow-up. Is he not as successful because he doesn't have as a dynamic a point guard running with him?
No, I don't think that. Oh, that's Rudy's
Book?
second. I'm sorry.
Well, okay,
Rudy's second.
no, I disagree. I don't think he's added that portion to his game. I don't think he.
So I'm saying he needs, like, his best years was with Chris.
Yeah. They were with Chris. I mean, but
Which
Chris
was a
does
very
that.
talented team.
Yeah, very talented team. I
And they
don't think.
won.
Yeah, I don't think that's part of him growing as a player. Like, I don't think if he adds that to his game, he doesn't need another star.
Adds point guard skills to his game? What are you
No,
saying?
just being more efficient with the ball in his hands.
Okay.
Not necessarily getting assists and all that stuff, just making the right play, and that's not always an assist.
I mean, there was a playoff series back, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, where they really tried Devin Booker out at point guard, and they saw a little bit of success there, and
For
they
like
gave it.
a dozen games.
But this was if I remember correctly, I think this was.
I was a part of it. I remember. That's why I know.
If I remember correctly, I think this was the year that the Nuggets won the championship. And
It was.
If I remember correctly, the Phoenix Suns were the only team that even got a scratch on them, and it was Devin Booker at point, KD doing KD things.
And going into that season, we did this whole thing at ESPN about how all three of them, because this was right after the Brad trade.
Yes, yeah.
We did this whole thing about how Brad, Katie, and Devin have all averaged more than 5 assists at one point or another in their career, and how they didn't need a point guard. And all of that turned out to be a joke.
Yeah.
They did need a point guard.
Yeah.
Well, NBA teams need a point guard.
Yes.
Just
Every
every
NBA
team in any sport and any basketball level needs a point guard. I don't know if you
Table
finished.
But see, you brought up the Denver where they put like they were competitive against Denver. That's matchups. It's playoffs. Like that worked for that matchup.
Right.
And you can't say like a full season playing a position that you're not, equipped to play. That's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker, we all know Devin Booker is not a point guard.
Jamal Murray not a point guard.
Jamal Murray's not a point guard. Jokic is a point guard.
But I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna wait to
Jokic
speak.
is the
I'm gonna wait
point
to
guard.
speak. I'm
Just
gonna wait
like
to speak.
Draymond is the point guard
Absolutely.
on
Absolutely.
Golden State.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't
Scottie
necessarily
Pippen was a point guard.
Yeah, so you don't have to be 5'10" or 6'1" to be a point guard. You know that.
Yeah, I told
Melo
you.
was not a point guard.
I'm bringing it
I
up.
was not a point guard. We know.
But we're not talking necessarily about point guard. We're talking about efficiency for the growth of
I'm not saying he's not efficient. He's just not efficient at point.
But he shouldn't be playing point is what we all agree.
I mean, there's stretches when he might have to, but
Okay.
to play a full game at point, no, I don't think it's sufficient for the team. And Bradley Beal ain't. KD has had times when he had to play point because to fill in, but to be a whole seat, like no.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a difference in like Book playing a point. Like he can do it. Like he can bring the ball. He can run plays. He can make plays. He can do all of that at the point guard position. The difference is he doesn't have a point guard mentality.
No.
He has a get to it mentality, scoring mentality. Whereas somebody else like a Ja, or not comparing, but somebody who's a point guard in the league, they even though they score the ball, they still have point guard instincts first.
Yeah.
Book doesn't have that. So
Go. Okay.
what I was gonna say is I think Book is suffering from the USA team. And I'm gonna say this. Well, I'm gonna say why.
It's interesting.
Not
get your pencils
suffering
out,
in a
folks.
negative way, but he's suffering from
Hold on. Impact. It has been impacted.
impact. Thank you. He's been impacted by the culture of Team USA. I go, everybody is telling you, man, you got to just do something else, like be something else and bring something else to the table and go do the dirty work, go do the little things that you may not be accustomed to doing. But because of this culture that we're trying to create, I have to do that, right? I don't have to do something else, but I find myself doing this really well. I find myself playing off the ball really well. I find myself playing defense really well. I find myself doing all the little shit to
Impact. Winning.
impact the game in the way that they want me to do it. We win. Now everybody's like, oh shit, like this what Book could do. This is what he should be doing. This is what is going to happen in Phoenix. He got KD there. He got Bill there. Book can be USA Book.
He can also go out there
He
and
can
guard
have
the
the
best
impact.
player and
Right.
do all
So
the
this
blue
is what
things. Yeah. Okay.
this is what was put on Book. He accepted it. For the USA team.
I'll take it a step forward. He volunteered. He went on Twitter.
Right,
Somebody
because-
was like, "Yo,
right.
you need somebody to do the
he
dirty
wanted
work."
to
And he's
show
like,
people.
"I'll do it."
He wanted to show people what he's
Yeah.
willing to do. All of these things that people are saying that he can't do.
I don't think. See, look.
Hold up. So now
This
you
is
come
interesting.
back. You come back to Phoenix.
Not Team USA.
Not Team USA,
Yeah.
but also having a different mentality on winning now, on how to win. I got KD here now. I got Brad Beal here now. I was just with KD on the USA team. We both have this same mentality of how to win now. Together. So now, Book, he starts to sacrifice his game for Phoenix the way that he started to sacrifice, that he sacrificed his game.
You think so?
Yes.
This is a theory.
Yes.
This is a
Oh,
theory.
Book ain't
Because you
ducking no
want to
smoke,
know,
man.
because
That's not what he's. That's
I'm
not.
just
not what
saying,
I'm
like,
saying.
even
That's
on
not-
the defensive end, like he's still
No,
going to
that's
do that.
not what
He
I'm saying. I'm saying mentality. Mentality is
trying to make it work.
once you get that bug of understanding how to win and being in those environments of how to win and the little shit that it takes to win, you come back totally different. Like
All right, so-
Olympic basketball and international basketball makes you come back to your team on a whole nother level where you thinking something totally different. This season, I'm going to come back, yo. You know what? This worked on USA team. I ain't going to try to average 30 this year. I'm going to go try to average like 22 and get my sister. This is how they play mind games with themselves. And I guarantee you, this is something that I don't want to guarantee. I'll take that back. It's a big word. I truly believe that Book is dealing with some of that, of figuring out how to make this work. At the end of the day, it's Book's. That's his. He's been there. That's his organization. That's his situation. We building around Book, right? Which is why they went and bought CP there, and they went and got KD, and they went and got Brad Beal. This is for Book.
All right, so if your theory proves correct, right, and
I just say random shit sometimes.
let's just put it to the test, right? Like you come in back into your regular season and you know this is what it takes.
You
to
talking about
win.
next year? Or you talking about this current
we're
season?
talking about what he's going through right now. And mind you, this isn't even just, you add that, you add the fact that they've been to the finals, you add the fact that he just said, hey, we've had teams that were less talented and found ways to win, all that type of stuff. Does it ever just get to a point where it's like, damn, maybe this just isn't a winning situation for me?
No, it
and
don't
maybe
never
it's
get
just-
to that point, because no matter what, because I know how talented we are, because I still believe in KD and I still believe in Brad Beal. So because we go through this every single day, we know what's happening. We still believe that we can go out there and compete with everybody. But we got to get our shit right. So what do we have to do to get right? Book is, I just sacrificed my game in USA. So I'm
Melo.
willing to sacrifice my game.
Melo.
Yo, they've done everything to try to make, I feel like, them comfortable within the
Book
season.
decided
What
to
they
play
could
point
do.
guard. He like, yo, I'm going to play point guard. I want to play.
Yeah.
I'll play point guard. You
He's
know
getting
what?
30 and 10
I'll
in the
go guard
playoffs.
now. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll sit in the corner. You know what? This is what he keeps doing. And they pushing the post on him every single time. He got to get back to, this is my team. This is my shit. And the organization don't make that clear.
That's the problem.
The organization don't
That's the
make it
problem.
clear. If they
And I
want to
think-
fix this is Book shit. He's been here. We're loyal to Book. KD, we would love for you to be here alongside building with Book. Brad Beal, we would love for you to be here. This is Book's.
You don't think they had that conversation?
I was about to say, like, this kind of,
I don't even think they had no conversation with KD. KD's so removed from that situation, but he just playing because he's a professional,
Right.
and they got a chance to win.
right.
Right? He see light at the end of the tunnel.
But I never thought they didn't make it clear that this is Book's team. Even when Chris Paul was there, even when it went to the finals.
Nobody.
It was his squad.
When have they came out and said we're building around Book?
It didn't need to be said.
They
Why
got
not?
rid of everybody but
Why
him
not?
from that finals
Why
run
not?
team.
But why not?
It's the personality.
They
bro.
draft the guy.
It's
He's
the
been an all-star.
personalities.
He's been a Team USA
a bad
member.
built
Like,
team.
Yeah,
why
it's-
wouldn't you?
Bro, it's the personality.
It's a
because
bad personality
you coming in there,
built
like
team.
you said. Books coming in there like with the Team USA thing.
Yes,
on there.
correct.
KD gonna be KD. He just want to hoop. He's not coming in there with nothing but, yo, I'm going to play basketball.
But to
so
cut
it's
you off,
hard to
he's
be
still
like,
coming off of that same mentality as Book. We just did what we had to do
you
to
know,
win.
y'all, we know
Right.
KD.
So I'm going to make it
He's
work with
not.
Book.
Hold on, no, Melo, because now you got two big time Team USA cats and they are not making it work.
Yeah.
So now what?
Because it comes down to personality. One don't want to overstep the other because this
know
is
what?
what it comes down
You
to.
know what?
No,
You sound ridiculous.
who's the alpha? Who's the alpha on the team?
Yo, hear me out. The problem is that KD naturally can go out there and do things that
Yes.
that Book just can't do.
Agreed.
And Book is supposed to be that guy.
Yes.
So him saying I want to win is naturally taking a back seat to the guy that just naturally can go out there and get you 30 every day.
I think you're saying the quiet part out loud, both of y'all.
We saying the same thing,
Y'all
Rudy.
both saying the quiet part out loud. I think the quiet part out loud that you're both saying is maybe Devin Booker ain't that guy.
So I'm not saying that.
Maybe he's just not that guy. Maybe he's a very good player who could be on a very good team.
27 years old.
Yeah.
This is the issue. Devin Booker is 27 years old. It's been a lot of moving parts around this guy.
That's true.
It's been a lot of moving parts. Owners, GMs, presidents, all players over the past, since they went to the finals. Because they got to they had to figure it out.
The game ain't easy to him, though.
Is in a stage of,
the game ain't easy to him.
I have to develop. I have to take my game to a whole nother level, which is what? Got to do a little bit of everything else. I get a shot at USA team. And I really get that firsthand experience on how to do this. I know I'm coming back with KD. KD is KD. KD leads this. Everything goes through KD. KD lead this from a basketball standpoint. When we need something, we go into KD. The offense should be that. Book believes that, and this is an internal battle that he's probably having. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's a battle between, damn, do I be aggressive? Or damn, do I do everything, right? But if I do everything, I'm going to get criticized because it's not going to be what people are used to from me. And on top of that, we're losing.
Regardless, they losing.
And on top, we losing.
Here's my one thing though, because I hear you, and I think there's a real thought process to like coming off Team USA trying to apply that. But somewhere in the middle, you got to look and say, I was just with the dozen best dudes ever.
Yes.
It's not a 1-for-1 application.
This is why I say there's no alphas. Who's the alpha mentality? They all alphas, but who has the alpha mentality to stand out and say, I'm going to take control of this shit. My other guys follow me.
I'm saying,
does the organization feel like he's an alpha? Because they continue to bring people in there with them that are alphas.
That's what I'm saying.
KD an alpha?
There's a lot of great players.
There's
a lot of great players in the NBA. If you tell them, I'm going to give you Kevin Durant, I'm going to give you Bradley Beal.
Everybody would know. Everybody's going to ask the same question.
I promise you,
Nurkic,
a lot of those 27-year-old, 25-year-old all-star level players will make it work better than Devin Booker. I think it's saying the quiet part.
They're not the player that
very
Devin
good
Booker's
player.
work.
He's a great player.
What
but he's not in that conversation of dudes that can take you over the top.
27-year-old two-guard? Devin Booker is the best two-guard in the NBA.
Younger. I don't think he's better than Ant Edwards. I don't think he's better than Ant.
Yeah.
And Ant's what, 23? 22?
Come on, man. And got levels to go. And got levels to go. He's there, but he still got still more game to play.
I'd like
Devin
to
Booker's
submit.
a great player. All I'm saying is he's played with Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, and they've done pretty okay.
No, I feel the sentiment because everybody wanted Devin Booker to change his game. Yo, go be the point. Oh, we want to see you bring the ball up the court. We want to see you do this. And he got caught up in the game of trying to prove everybody right.
Nah, do what you good at.
Which is why, we say that, but that takes what, Rudy? An alpha mentality to say, fuck this shit. I'm going.
I would like to submit Grayson Allen as the alpha.
Who?
Grayson Allen.
Why? Because he fouled people.
The personalities is a major part on how a lot of this shit works.
Yeah.
Shout out to Royce.
Chemistry. I'm not saying they don't have chemistry. They have. I'm sure they have a lot of chemistry. But personalities, it has to work. And when we all have a similar personality of just want to hoop and fuck everything else.
Honestly, I think people Book come off. He has a mature game. He come off mature, and we expect him to know.
Polished. Yeah.
We expect him to be this player that that's going to take time. Like they have sped up his process so many times. You get CP. CP trying to win a championship. Now we got to win. He 25. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right. We don't have this conversation about Jason Tatum.
Yeah, now we got
Jason Tatum's probably younger than Devin Booker.
No, we did. Jason Tatum was in this conversation for forever.
He was.
But even in his younger days, he was still getting to conference finals. Nobody was denying that he wasn't the man.
Bro, they had great teams. We just talking about culture. Boston had culture.
They just speeding up the man process,
culture.
man.
But to Rudy's point, they sped the man up.
Yeah.
We have to win. We can, what ends up happening is the business and the development wasn't meeting.
Ooh, come on, owner Melo.
Right? So now the business starts to come in, and now the development, because we're going to take time with this development, we got to go bring people in here who's already developed. We're going to bring CP in here. Okay. We're going to bring these guys to put around you So that give you time to learn and develop at the same time while we figure out what the fuck we gonna do on the business side. Now that don't work. Whatever happened, they had they run. Finals, Book becomes what? Devin Booker has arrived in the NBA.
Okay.
On the biggest stage. Now, shit don't work out with CP, whatever happened, that team. Now we have to bring these guys, we have to keep building around Devin Booker. We have to. So now Devin Booker never been in this situation where he had to be the alpha mentality of figuring this shit out. CP was figuring a lot of shit out.
CP did play with him and KD.
Absolutely.
For a year, right?
Figured he helped them figure it out.
Nah, KD wasn't there yet.
KD wasn't. KD just got
He
there.
played with both of them, right?
CP was in.
CP left.
He was like in Golden State by then.
No, they played
I
together.
think so, yeah. I think they did in Phoenix, yeah.
They played together.
Maybe?
Did they?
Yeah,
I think,
they
yeah.
lost to Denver.
Man,
They lost to Denver.
This is an extremely spirited conversation. I didn't think Devin Booker was going to bring us bring this out of us.
No, but it's a lot of stories
So is
within
it
this
Devin
story,
Booker?
within these stories because there's a lot of guys who Devin Booker level
Right.
who eventually will go through this. So how you going to react to that? How you going to respond to that? You going to follow what everybody wants you to do? Or you going to go with do what you do in the realms of what we have to do in order to win?
So let me ask you this though, because this is bigger than. We'll step away from Phoenix now because you keep tossing around this word alpha. Not tossing, but I understand what you mean by that.
Yes.
But I also think you brought up the Jason Tatum thing. I remember before JJ became Coach JJ, him saying that a lot of times your best guy is not that guy.
It's not the leader.
Okay, so leader and alpha are different.
Your best guy is not always the leader of the team.
And the leader of the team isn't necessarily
And the leader
best
of the
guy.
team is not necessarily an alpha.
So Phoenix's problem, they don't have either.
They are playing, you be the leader, you be the leader, you be the leader.
They don't have
Like,
either.
This is what I've been saying. And because you don't have nobody up there to figure this shit out because y'all scrambling. Y'all don't know what to do. Y'all just gave up picks. Y'all did this. Y'all done bet the house on this, so y'all don't know what to do with this.
That's a reflection of ownership too.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. That's
Now we come back full circle with this shit.
circle back
You know what I'm
right there,
saying?
man.
The point of the story is alpha mentality, baby.
We was stuck in traffic on that one. It took us a while to get back.
Just a smidge. A lot of talk about mentality today. I think one person we're learning a lot about their mentality so far this season is one Bronny James. I think I can speak for everybody here when I say we were excited to see Bronny do his thing in the G League in the Lakers' most recent matchup against the Bucks. He played a career-high 30 minutes and even had Giannis shook up a little bit, had a little stumble. He didn't finish it, but he looked like, you know what I mean? He's doing something really good there. A lot of everything everybody always has to say about him. Bronny shared, quote, I see everything that people are saying and people think I'm an effing robot. But I just take that and use it as fuel for me to go out, get better every day. That's what Rob wants me to do as a young guy coming in, playing in the G League and learning from far on the bench, watching the Lakers play. Rudy, another segment of Keep It Real with Rudy. Is every young guy.
Pucker up, nigga.
Rudy, does every young guy with NBA aspirations need an opportunity to quote unquote be the guy for their team, whether it's high school or college, if they want to have success in the NBA?
I mean, there's cases where that's not true, but for the most part, yeah. I think you gotta, when you walk into a locker room in the NBA, right? Everybody was the man somewhere, and you gotta respect that when you go into a practice or whatever. That's what makes it competitive. You know what I'm saying? So like 1,000%, like you can't. Like we said, a lot of situations, analytics and stuff like that changes. So where people get a chance that probably when we were coming up probably wouldn't get a sniff at the league. You know what I mean? But you can't come to me, and it's a lot with just being a man somewhere. It's a lot of people depending on you. You got to gain respect. You got to be a dog within the game. It's a feel for the game. You got to have the feel for the game. Everybody doesn't have that, at the top level. Even if you're the man, but if you're not, like, how can you can't just build that out of nowhere. You got to have it. Like with my kids, go ahead, play, like, go. Like, that's why I hate this whole stigma. I have a tall son. I'm like, yo, go play basketball. You want to bring the ball up? Bring it up. If you take it, shit, pass it. You know what I mean? Don't do it again.
Take
you
it,
know
shit, go block it.
Like, let me think, like, you're 10 years old. Let me figure out, let me see what you can do before somebody call you a center. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you the man? Are you not? Like, can you do it? Do you got it? Do you not? Like, you have to at least try at some point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this correlate to Bronny. How did it?
So
you want to give your son a shout out, Travis.
Shout out Clint. What's up, dog? Love you, boy.
I think the topic of the Bronny question was interesting because I think the way they was trying to set it up is that
my eyes, right?
Bronny didn't really get the opportunity to be the man at USC.
Right.
Even at Sierra Canyon, he was very good, but like there were definitely players on that team that were probably more highly touted, highly recruited,
right?
All that type of stuff. To have success on the highest level of basketball, I guess what we're trying to get at is, do you need to have that experience being a lead dog, being a guy?
I mean, it's different for Bronny. Like, he sees it every day. Like, that's his dad. You know what I'm saying? His dad leads the whole league. Now, with Bronny, the difference with Bronny is like, yo, he's young, 1. 2, we see how good of a player he can be. Now, he's missing, like, making shots and finishing. But in between, all the other stuff, you see it. Like, he has a skill set. Like, of course, it's going to take time, and that process was sped up a little bit. But we see, like, are you surprised about him going down like he should and putting up numbers?
Right.
I'm even surprised he's putting up those kind of numbers down there because he's young.
Great numbers,
but, you know, this is great. It's showing that he's learning. And that's part of, I can, if I had one of the best mentors in the world, like, I see my process getting, like, if my dad knew anything about basketball, I would have been a better player. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it's like, you couldn't, like, I didn't expect him to be any different. You know, I expected him to spend more time down there, hone his craft, and become the player that we all think he can be. But all that, the BS that's going on around him, I feel him, but, it comes with the territory. But real basketball players know it's going to take time.
He's the most talked about 55th, 56th, whatever pick I could probably ever think of. We've definitely seen nepotism in the NBA. People's players,
so quiet?
Brothers, all that.
Why
type
you so
of
quiet?
Wow. Me?
Yeah, this is the first segment. You've been quiet now.
I was really giving you the floor to speak.
Now you want to give me the floor.
This question was to Rudy. If you want me to
all of them have been. Let's keep it real, Rudy.
Okay. See, I have a different take. That's why I was quiet.
Okay.
Because I know the Bron situation, and I also know the Bronny situation. And a lot of times people cross the two.
Right.
Like, Bronny is his own young man. Like, Bronny got his own lane. He's doing his own thing. He think totally different. He has his own personality. He understands what's going on out here. Bronny know, like he said, I read it.
Yeah.
Nigga, his pops read everything. His pops know everything that's going on out there in the world. He know everybody say about him.
Especially given what's happened the past several weeks.
This kid, Bronny, is 19, 20 years old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, he's on social media. He's on X. He's on. He see what's going on. But the fact that the unfair part in that is he don't get the chance to go prove himself. He get thrown out there for 5 minutes. He get exposed. Oh, then he go out to the G League. He playing, he's go score 20, 25, come back. And it's like, people get to question that. Is it really real? What is it? We don't know what type of player Bronny gonna be.
But you see it though. Like I said, like, yo,
no, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Skill sets there. It's just like, finishing. That's young players in all. Like,
he's a basketball player, which is why I'm getting to my point. He's a really good basketball player. He's a high IQ basketball player. At a young age, the only way you can get better is by playing.
Mm-hmm.
So they put a lot on him by saying he's not going to play in the G League. So because at the beginning, he's not going to the G League. But because of that, people is holding you now at NBA level.
Right.
So if he's not going to the G League at 55th pick, that means he's going to be part of this lineup with the Lakers.
Well, to be fair, he is averaging 25 and 6.
What I'm trying to say is this is a testament to the G League as well.
Yeah. Because
to his point, it's a lot of people who grinding and hustling down there in the G League. So for him to go down there with all of this bullshit that he got to deal with every single day, go down there and play 25, 35, like, he's showing guys the development and the process of this. I'm not the same player I was in training camp. I'm not the same player I was last month. But because we don't see the journey, we don't see the work ethic, and we don't see all of that. We just see the final product once they get on the court. But we don't see you sucking the teeth. We don't see the actual work that this kid put in. Now, I'm not saying is he a starter right now in the NBA. I'm not saying that he's supposed to have 30, 35. I'm saying he deserves a shot, just like anybody else in that situation deserves a shot.
He's absolutely worth the 55th pick. That's my belief.
I'm gonna go out on the whim and say this.
Whim or limb?
Both.
A whim and a limb.
Whim limb. You know what I'm saying? We'll go out on the limb.
Go out on
the whim and the limb. In a couple years, Bronny going to be a real NBA player.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like a real solid NBA player.
I can see him in a couple years being a starting
one issue I have with Bronny right now.
I can see him being a starting point guard in a couple years.
Okay.
One issue I have with Bronny right now, not an issue, but like that I would love to see him do, is not lose his confidence throughout all of this. Because we see the difference when you lose your confidence.
And you don't know how to be an alpha or a leader.
And you don't know. Right. You lose your confidence because you still have to learn how to be a new alpha and a leader on this level.
Yeah.
So this is my one thing. To the end of allowing him to develop.
Yes.
Should they just let him rock with the G League team?
Yes. So I would prefer, again, this is me, rock with the G League team. Because if I'm not going to come play, I'm still practicing with the team. I'm still going through progressions with the team. I'm still going through offense, going through the defense. So I'm getting that day-to-day kind of work that I need to stay, abreast of what's going on if I do come back over here.
Actually,
but
I don't think so.
Go play. What you mean?
I think, like we said earlier, like this is the end of the regular season. It's going to be some nasty liners out there. Let him get some time up with everybody else.
It depends on
these guys
what the
rest.
Lakers are trying to do. They are in a different situation than the Knicks.
Seeding.
So it depends on what they actually trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish.
I don't think they worried about where they see it at, bro, with them two. I don't think they
Nah.
I don't think that whole
Bron's too smart for that. He's too smart for that. He knows who he want to match up with and who he don't want to match up with.
I know that, but I'm saying, like, if he's going to rest, if people are going to rest, Bronny should be playing.
Yeah, if they're going to rest, if that's what you want to do. But we don't know
you got to be real strategic with where you want to do that.
Well, like the situation he just had in Milwaukee, right? Like LeBron was sitting, Luka was sitting.
Yeah, and we also talking like it's like 30-something games left in the season. Like if this was like a couple months ago, I would say, let Bronny
the nasty games you was talking about earlier in this episode. These are the games that you throw Bron out there.
But now, to your point, Ru, that is correct. I digress on that. Like,
me too.
Allow him to play. Like, give him these minutes. If you're not going to play
against real NBA players,
Luka, and you're not going to play these guys, play against the guys because the other guys is not playing either.
Yeah.
So play against the level of talent that we should be playing against. Let's see where we rate at.
I give it to Bronny though, man. Like definitely, especially given everything that happened with Stephen A. and LeBron and just the entire year of what people have said about him and his father.
But that bro, Champ been going through this since 8 years old, man. This ain't nothing new. This shit right here is just white noise to him.
I'm speaking specifically to that Milwaukee Bucks game, even though they lost that game, and the G League game where he had 37 points. You talk about never losing your confidence. There were moments during those games where I'm like, he is confident. Like he knows the work he's put in. He's shown flashes of stuff that you see from very good to great NBA guards as far as finishing at the rim, as far as being able to shoot the rock confidently from deep. Defensively, even though he's about 6'2", he gets up there. He can go up and block somebody's shot.
Bro, he's an NBA player, bro.
Defense.
That was my favorite.
Talent.
He's an NBA player. Like, no, he's an NBA player, not talent. He's an NBA player, bro.
He's going to be a really good NBA player, but he's
a player now. He got to wear an NBA jersey.
We playing those games now.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. He's not an NBA talent. He's here. He's an NBA talent is a nigga in college.
Yeah.
He should be in college.
Cooper Flag is NBA talent. This man is already in the league. He already in the NBA.
And he's
NBA
playing
talent.
well in the G League. So if you're one of the best G League players or playing better than the G League players,
listen.
You are an
Listen.
NBA player, no? Nah.
This is what I
he's
thank
NBA
you,
player.
Cass. Thank you. When I say he think we arguing, I'm saying to that
Nah,
nigga,
man, what
Cass.
you saying? It's like, listen.
He's an NBA player, not NBA talent.
After
Dog bite. You know what I'm talking about.
This fucking guy is crazy, man.
not dog bite. That's
Bronny, man. Bronny,
Yo,
man.
she kill every time. It's right here. I see it every time.
Player, man. Bronny's
I gotta give it to
shit out
Bronny,
of
bro. I'll give it to him. Guys,
Go kill the G League. These last couple games, if you go play.
No, hold on. Before we
destroy
put a
that
button on
shit.
this, because it's 10 games or less to go in the regular season.
Yes.
What does his offseason then look like? And what are you looking at next year?
Off season,
NBA talent,
back to the
NBA
summer
player.
league.
So this is why it's important to keep your confidence. Your confidence is important.
Oh, that's work.
This last 10 games, if they're gonna bring you up to play, your confidence is how you close the year out is very important.
Mhm.
Because now you take that confidence into summer league, and now you go
and
show.
you got to dominate
Now
somebody.
you go show the
Yeah.
difference between my development and these rookies' development.
Yeah.
These rookies that's coming in, or second year players. I want to now everybody get a chance to see me play. Summer league is fun. I get to try new shit. I get to try the shit that I've been working on in the summer. Now we get to really see the confident Bronny coming in, having an opportunity to work for a spot or work to be in the lineup with the Lakers next year. I think we're going to see a lot of Bronny headlines this summer.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. I agree.
Regardless.
Oh,
Stuff.
wow, look how strong he got. Oh, wow, look how big he is.
We-
Oh,
we
wow.
gonna see him in
Look at
Vegas
in and out.
in the
Oh,
summertime,
wow,
or
look
is
at
it
the
like,
Hezzy.
uh-oh.
Like, we're going to see.
First of all, let's think about
If
this,
I'm
right?
Bronny, I'm showing niggas everything. Like,
Summer League is going to be a movie this year. You're going to have Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, Edgecombe,
7
Bronny
p.m. We
probably
out
gonna be
here.
in
We
there.
out here. We
You
out
gonna
here.
be, it's going to be, listen,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see.
Can't wait.
But speaking of... America's #1 segment, baby. Fuck with it or fuck out of here. You know what it is. #1 segment in all podcasts in all America. We're going to tee up some of the viral moments all throughout sports, all throughout pop culture, all throughout everything. And you know what it is. We're going to throw it to everybody and see if we're going to fuck with it or fuck out of here. First off, Kyrie Irving hopped on Twitch to get some things off his chest during the live stream. He covered topics ranging from social injustice to LaMelo Ball growing up in the spotlight, to how former NBA players currently covering the league have quote unquote lost their way. He held nothing back on this live stream. It was really good. Check it out if you get a chance to. And streamers have just become just the #1 mode of entertainment for anybody with a great following. So fuck with it or fuck out of here. Kyrie Irving becoming a streamer.
Does one
Everybody.
stream make you a streamer? Is this a thing?
I mean, if
It has
he
to
made
be
as many
recurring.
headlines as this one did, I mean, he did Casanat's stream a few months ago that got a lot of rave reviews. He worked out with him on I think it was like his 24-hour stream. I forgot what it was called. And Kyrie has, he has his tribe that he keeps, in direct contact with, his fan base. He's very tapped in to his ecosystem of fans and stuff. And I think the streams is just another mode of that. And just given the way entertainment is right now and how everybody is doing Twitches or Kicks or Rumbles or whatever platform you choose, somebody already super famous like Kyrie being a streamer could be something really interesting, another sort of revenue stream. But more
Especially if
than
you have
that,
a following.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a following.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with it. I think it is just the next iteration of the social media platform,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Straight to your fan base, straight to consumer, skip the middleman. I would say, though, there is some pitfalls there in terms of policing oneself, or policing is not the word I want, but just being mindful of the platform, I guess I would say.
the same way that you would be mindful of players on podcasts or
Correct.
doing media
Yeah.
and all that type of stuff. We're all kind of there now. It's not
Mhm.
it's not crazy to see somebody who's an active player having like a media platform and whatnot. But streaming definitely is a different beast because there's no edits.
No
Mhm.
guardrails.
It's live, there's no
Producers.
guardrails. And it's the Wild West of the internet. At least on the
Woo-wee.
podcast, there's still
That's crazy.
a bunch of great people behind this camera that let us know not to say nothing crazy. But
Fuck that.
But I dug Kyrie's stream, man. Like I thought he was very entertaining. I think he's a the things that he said about race and racial injustice, especially for his fan base. He has such a young, he has a massive fan base everywhere, but like specifically kids
Mhm.
really listen to Kyrie, love
Mhm.
Kyrie, follow him. and the things that he said just about, what's going on in the world right now. And in addition to basketball questions, in addition to fun music questions, all that type of stuff. That's what streaming's all about. It's like, can I connect with this audience
he's tapped in.
and have them tapped in, you know what I mean? In a way that like makes them feel like, yo, this person's success is something that I'm personally invested in.
Yeah.
And it's worked with people who have literally started from their backyards. And this isn't somebody who's these aren't people that are NBA superstars like Kyrie Irving, right? Like, so being able to lock into that world and sort of maybe that's the evolution of the player podcast, the player media.
Yeah.
And, I don't think Kyrie's going to be the last of these guys with that much notoriety to jump into the streaming world. But, he's probably the one who's best equipped because he's already got in trouble for saying shit. Right?
Yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Because I think Kyrie is very intentional.
Yes.
On the things that he does, right? I think he always been very intentional on things that he's done, researched, journeys he went through, things that he said. I think he's always been intentional about it. Maybe not have delivered it the right way or had clarity in what he was saying, but I think he's very intentional on what he's doing.
Yeah.
He understands his power when it comes to being him. He understands his tribe of what he's actually committed to. He understands the people that follow. He understands his followers.
Yeah.
And when you understand the followers, right, you're able to tap into that community and your tribe a lot more and very different than just being on social media. And I think by him being intentional, he's actually this is a press conference for him.
Yeah.
They're saying he can't go to the gym in the arena after the game and do the press conference to get a message out. And this is his way of the people, giving back to the people. So we talk about fan experiences. Like, this is a different way to get a fan experience.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the athletes out there that probably needs context the most out of anybody.
Yeah, but so if he's gonna explain it, then let him elaborate.
Let him elaborate.
Absolutely.
I think he's one of the athletes out there that's probably suffered the most from a lack of context to the things he said that has quote unquote gotten him into some, that has rubbed people the wrong way or something like that. And I think streaming is the sort of perfect sort of platform to not have any of that.
The strong always prevails, right? Because you're very intentional, we got a good heart, he's a good person, like he's able to take all the bullshit that he went through, all the stoning that they did, that they tried, a public stoning to him. Now he's able to alleviate everybody and talk directly to the people. I don't want the media asking me questions no more.
Yeah.
Let my fans ask the questions.
Yeah.
And I'm honest enough and vulnerable enough to be able to sit and talk about whatever it is, answer whatever questions, that makes streaming hard.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who may be wanting to stream is not vulnerable enough to stream.
True.
Yeah,
all streamers are very vulnerable. They do whatever. You see everything in their house. You see
Yeah.
They see all type of shit in there.
Well, it's different, right? Like the pro streamers, that's what you do. Like every day, like it is, you got to be locked in every single day to make sure that audience is engaged and all that type of stuff. If people like Kyrie Irving are going to start jumping into the streaming world, it's not something that you got to do every day. Like
it's
you're
just
famous enough to be like, yo, going live at such and such, and then the millions is coming in.
Yeah.
Because that's not your main hustle right there. You know what I mean? You're a basketball player. You're more than a basketball player, but like that's what you're there for.
He also injured.
Yep.
He also recovering. You can't move around. You can't. You in the house, and what you can do is sharpen your intellect. And that's what he's doing. He's sharpening his intellect more so than anything right now, more so than physically. You can't really do so much work right now.
Yeah.
So you sharpening here to where I can talk back to my community and get these messages out. I think he's very intentional on what he's doing.
Bro.
I'm not gonna hold y'all though. Streaming, I have a little PTSD from Versus when we was all locked in the house during the pandemic. That's why I say streaming.
I love keep miss Versus, but I want to go back to being in the house.
No. We was all in the house.
I don't want to be back in the house, man. Versus was the time. I loved it.
Versus was cool.
But man,
we look forward to it. Kid.
What?
It was nothing
That's all we
else
had
to
to look
do.
forward to. That and The Last Dance. That's all we had.
The Last Dance rollout.
I actually dressed up like MJ for the Last Dance.
To watch each episode?
Yep.
Okay.
That's crazy.
North Carolina.
I thought Michael Jackson. I was like, what did Michael Jackson do for us?
Oh, you put a fit on to watch? You put an outfit on to watch
The
Last
Michael
Dance?
Jordan jersey on.
You wasn't making TikToks and putting on fits in the pandemic. Where was you?
Stuck in Portland.
That's true.
I wasn't stuck. See, I'm using the wrong choice of words. I was happily living in Portland.
The P&W, man. That's a beautiful
soil, wine.
Oh, you had a sophisticated pandemic. You rich.
Yeah, I'm right. I was in the.
We was baking bread.
You know,
doing arts and crafts.
I couldn't go outside.
We was clapping for the paramedics coming home. That's what we was doing. He was like,
built the shelf.
You built the shelf.
The shelf. He drinking wine.
Okay, IKEA.
Nigga, it started in Portland.
Okay.
The whole shit. The pandemic started in Oregon.
Yeah.
My bad.
That was the first case?
Yeah, so we was out there. So you ain't called me to say, yo, champ, I see the numbers going up out there. You holler at me.
We definitely talked.
When?
We FaceTime. That's why I know what you was doing. I will call you on your shit now.
That's cat, man.
Y'all dead ass the basketball Martin and Eddie
This
from
thing
life,
is crazy,
bro. Like, y'all just always like you were doing that shit.
I know what he doing and
My
what he
daddy
not
bought me
doing.
that watch. Fuck that pussy ass watch.
Say little clock or something.
Oh, man. Well, shout out Kyrie. Keep streaming, man. I was thoroughly enjoyed by that. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has gone viral once again at a town hall in Far Rockaway,
That's my man right
Queens.
there.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Mayor Adams kicked off the meeting by saying, quote, "There's a real history for me. I had a shorty that lived out here. I used to come out taking that long A-train ride, you know, in the cold. Love is blind, man. Damn, I hate
Myself from Queens.
how hilarious Eric Adams is, even though his
shorty.
politics are what they are. Guys, fuck with it or fuck out of here. Eric Adams oversharing to connect with the people.
I fuck with it.
I fuck
We
with
talking
it.
about streaming. The man should stream too.
Yo, we got a
He
president
should
that,
not stream. Mayor Eric Adams do not
we got a
stream.
president that say whatever he want out of his mouth. Why
That's
can't Eric
true.
Adams? Like, if he had a shorty out there, that's the least of what, you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
The
there's
other
like,
man is
there's
sick.
like a Venn.
He relating to the New Yorkers. That's how New York talk.
It's the truth.
A-train.
Took the A-train, had a
That
little
long
show,
ride.
you know what I'm saying? Love is blind,
There's
you
gotta
heard? That's what he,
be-
that's how he talking. Love is blind, you heard? Had a little shorty
You
on the
heard?
A-train up at night. Like, that's how the mayor talks,
He had
man.
a shorty out there. It's
I
crazy.
forgot. I think it was Roy Wood Jr. Shout out Roy Wood Jr. Hilarious, man. He
So
was
funny.
like, he's the first mayor in history that knows where the hoe's at.
Eric Adams.
That's funny.
I was just like, yo.
You gotta think,
Hilarious.
Eric Adams been around, Chan. You know, I ain't
Yes.
gonna go back into his history, but
Yes, he has.
he been outside.
Music videos I seen.
No,
I seen his own.
not even that. He been outside.
You got a mayor story for us?
Like Amazora.
that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? My guy. Hey, that's
Listen,
my
man,
guy.
The most controversial politicians for some reason are always undeniably hilarious, and like even as like
It's New
you
York
can
City,
feel some
though.
type of way about them.
This
I'm
New
like,
York
man.
City.
It's New York City.
Pay them country boys nothing.
From New York.
Oh man, Eric.
Yeah, I'll fuck with Eric Adams though, man. You know, keep streaming, Eric. Nah, for real, keep streaming, man. You know what I mean? Let's do some shit together before you get up out this seat.
Well, yeah, they're about to get you out of here
Yeah,
quick.
man,
But hey, man, what
Cuomo
you got
coming up
to do,
next.
bro?
Not coming up next. Not the TV host.
Cuomo coming up next.
And then y'all ever take that A train, that long commute to
Cuomo definitely taking the A train.
So if you was dating somebody from Brooklyn and he lived in Harlem, that was legitimately
When I
a
first
long
moved
distance
here,
relationship.
Yeah, you got
I
to meet
was
me halfway.
like, New York is so dramatic. Harlem and Brooklyn, not so far.
It is actually
I'm in
very
Harlem.
far.
It is far as hell.
I know
On
where
the
you are
train.
in Harlem.
Yeah.
In
On the
Brooklyn,
train.
specific
Oh.
areas of Brooklyn,
I'm like,
I'd
bro,
much rather
where?
go to like
Where's that?
Jersey.
I will be in Brooklyn for the layout though.
Mm.
My favorite thing in the city. Love it. Juneteenth, celebrate it.
Well,
you know the vibes. So I tell my
out in the grass.
Fort Green Park?
Fort
Oh,
Green,
word?
yeah.
Spike Lee over there and all that.
Maybe, sometimes. Who knows?
It's a beautiful,
It's a vibe.
scene. If you've
You
never
got a
been
spot
there,
for us? You got
It's a
the.
vibe.
You on the grass? Where you at on the hill?
On the grass. This,
Okay.
it's a. I can't remember the
You on a
girl's
foothill
company.
or you up
No,
a
no, no.
little-
We
okay.
right. It's like two trees in the middle where we be at.
It's a lot of trees over there.
No, no, no. No, on the top of the hill. You're right. On the top of the hill.
top
So
of
then
the
it's
hill.
like two trees on the top of the hill where we. It's a girl that puts out like a whole setup, like outside. You can work with her company. She bring the
Nice.
cushions, the food, the drinks, the
Word.
charcuterie, the whole
So we
bit.
can bring the wine with the
She
couches
set the
and all
whole
that?
joint up.
set
It's
it
the
up.
vibe. It's the vibe.
We
That's
outside.
You
Nice,
said
bro.
Portland touch grass? That's our New York touch grass with the black
So we
folks.
gonna bring the
7 p.m.
grass to New York.
Juneteenth.
There we
Yes,
go.
sir.
We
There
gonna
we
bring
go.
the grass to NYC and we gonna touch the soil.
Juneteenth, we outside. I
We
can't
gonna
wait
come
for it.
before Juneteenth though. 420, not Juneteenth.
Lots of grass touching the city. And to close us out, I thought I had seen it all in the world of
Oh,
influencing.
my God.
What's this?
Until online fitness coach and former running back for, I forgot which HBCU he went to, Ashton Hall, shared a video of his intense morning routine. I'm sure you've seen it all over your timelines. You've seen lots of
you ain't see this?
sparkling water.
We gotta watch the video.
There's been all sorts of reactions, spinoffs, and spoofs, and rightfully so. If you guys haven't seen this, I don't think
play. You really haven't seen it?
I haven't
do it
seen it.
justice.
Play it.
Nah, that's the reason why I didn't see this. Like clicking on this video.
man.
Notice the time,
I'm
though.
not clicking on this video, man.
Notice the time.
The time is crazy.
3:54.
Come on, man.
My man's serious about his
You do
sparkling
not
water.
have a lifestyle like this, Chad. You do not do this every day. He's bluffing this. Nigga, go to sleep, nigga.
He gonna meditate. Don't worry.
What's the point in being up for that?
Serious about the Lord's business.
Amen.
Was that Stephen A. or
All right, here we go. Right here. This is it. Right here. The dip into the ice.
I do
sparkling
agree with
water.
that. I do agree with that.
I'm not gonna act like that don't look
I
refreshing.
do agree with the
I would
ice on
definitely
it.
do
I
that.
do
Nah, that
agree
wake
with
you
that.
up. That wake you up.
And it keeps your pores tight.
That's for real.
What time is it?
Come on.
6:20? Okay.
All right, my favorite part's coming up right here. Right
You
here.
shitting me? Man.
Wait for it.
Oh, this nigga jumped in the 3-foot pool. That was like 3 feet.
Oh man.
Yo, if this is his life every day, this is ill. Come on, champ.
Now rubbing the banana.
Oh, the banana
Now,
peel. I
don't
didn't
know
see
what
that
I
part.
never seen that one.
The potassium is the thing.
it again?
Go ahead and get in at least 10,000.
Bluffing motherfucker.
A bluffing motherfucker right here. That was 4 hours.
It
Yo,
was.
so what was it? Sterling sparkling water. I forgot the name of the sparkling water.
Saratoga.
water is good.
I'm
Saratoga
buzzing.
water is
Saratoga.
pretty good, though.
Saratoga water is legit.
Yeah, I
Allegedly,
agree.
they stock went up 16% this week. Their Google search results shot up 700%. They've had some real tangible.
I hope he was getting paid in
results
advance
for-
then.
So
So that's been the question, right? So fuck
You
with it the
spent
fuck
4
out of
hours
here.
on a routine that you only did once.
So fuck with it or fuck out of here. Ashton Hall taking influencer content to another level. I heard that he did it for free.
He's streaming.
That is streaming. That's for real. That's
He
for real.
definitely did it for free.
So all right.
He shouldn't have.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Next
he's-
one ain't gonna be for free.
Facts.
They said that there was this was super viral. Like we talk about some viral videos here and there. Not only did he make this video, I feel like every single person who had any semblance of a following did some sort of spoof to it. McDonald's had like a cup of like the Sprite ice in their joint, and they was like using it as the whatever, as the face dip. Like everybody had a remix of this joint. And apparently the valuation socially was close to $2 million just off of that one video. If you know what I mean.
And what he get?
Did the world may never know.
It's
I got some Saratoga water sent to him. At least some
Don't
free
know if
ice
this
bags.
is a real. I don't know if Saratoga did some real guerrilla marketing and did this. You know what I mean, under the table.
He set himself up.
They
for
would
the
I'm
next
not. I don't
thing.
fuck how much money. You know, I'm not waking up 3:48 and doing a 4-hour routine
No,
like that.
facts.
I'm just going to sleep at 2. Slept for 1 hour.
Oh, you
and a half.
outside. Yeah,
No, I
I've
just
been
can't.
outside
You know,
at 2 a.m.
I'm an insomniac.
The
How
only
you say it?
insomniac.
You know what I meant.
Insomniac.
know
Yeah,
what
no,
you
that's
meant.
actually
I gotta
right.
explain that to y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
There's a lot to digest there from that.
Do we? The real question is that really his everyday routine?
Hell no.
If it is, I respect you,
Bro,
brother.
if
If
an
that
alien.
is, I respect it because that's a discipline. That's a different level of discipline.
There was a
But what time he
handful
go
of.
to
if you
bed,
bluffing, goddamn.
He
All
going
right,
to
so
bed
y'all
at like 8
pro
o'clock.
athletes, right? Y'all all has.
And he
have
lives
been-
in Miami.
You ain't me. I was
going
trying to figure out what
That's
that
a
was.
good point.
I was trying to
You
figure out
ain't
what
going to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock to wake up at
They
3.
still at the pool.
You ain't going.
At 1 a.m. You can't see
How many
me live in the building.
How many followers does he have already?
Apparently, he's what was it?
Ashton, what's his name?
I heard he had like 9 million followers.
Oh, for that, so that's
Because
his
he might.
routine.
That's his.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he had it before
No.
that video, but as
That
of now,
video,
he's got something.
man,
close
That's
to
his
that.
routine.
Rudy, stop hating. You
Nah,
know
man,
you want.
Rudy,
You
don't
want
be
Yeah,
that
right.
9
guy
million
on here.
followers.
Uncle Ruckus.
I don't give a shit what he do in the morning, to be honest with you. Like,
Don't be Uncle Ruckus on here, chat.
but for some Saratoga water and some water and you know some money, I
9
Now,
million.
Who made the
I will
breakfast
dump my
though?
whole body in it.
He does have 9 million followers.
I need the athletes in here to do a
No, that's
health,
crazy. That is
a
crazy.
health fact check on this routine, right? So he wakes up and he puts the tape
So let me
over
tell you,
his mouth. Put this on game. Yeah,
Can
yeah,
attest to the it's called Mouth Tape. I read this great book called Breath by James Nestor, and basically A lot of the issues that we have is because we don't know how to breathe.
Yes, we breathe through our mouths.
If you breathe through your mouth and snore real bad at night, you jacking yourself all up.
Mm-hmm.
So that tape, it forces you to sleep with your mouth closed, improve your nasal breathing, deeper, more restful sleep.
So it's practice.
Can attest.
Okay,
To my opinion.
That's practice.
All right.
Yeah,
So
other than that, I don't do
cop
nothing.
the
Do you
hostage
do
tape.
it?
I went through like a thing for like 2 months. It's something in my
couldn't do
nightstand. I haven't used it in a while, but
Couldn't do it.
I can feel the difference. You think you can't? Do you don't sleep well already though? I sleep well, so it didn't bother me.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
I
It's
don't
not.
sleep.
Oh, see, you might have an issue.
I only don't sleep well if I'm like, if I had like a
That's a
long night
waste
of
of tape
drinks.
for 2 hours. Shit, waking up at 3:45.
You probably need it for 2 hours.
I'm gonna think somebody trying to kidnap me.
I ain't trying to go through that much tape for 2 hours.
Flashback. I'll fight somebody off with me, man. Hell nah. Put no
All right,
tape on my-
more health fact checking. The water, the Saratoga water into the bowl. Now the cold water to the face, I did hear is
great
good
for your
the
pores.
Yes,
For the
I do agree
Yeah.
with the water
Yes.
to the face
I've
or the
done that.
ice.
The ice water.
I think we
They
all
say
read
that's
that.
better than coffee.
Yeah, I think we all read that Pharrell interview way back in the day when everybody asked him the skin routine. He was like, just cold water.
Yeah.
I was a
Cold
cold
water,
tough
right?
guy who go all the way. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
some days, if I just want a quick boost,
That's
all
the way to
in.
do it.
Head under the water,
Nah, I
come
ain't
out.
doing it.
You'll be a whole new person.
All right. Well, damn,
What else
man.
was in there?
I mean, there's a lot.
And
The banana peel? I don't know about that.
I was about to say, what's good with the banana peel on the face, the potassium?
you got to talk to her about
Skin-
it.
That one, I gotta ask my esthetician about that one. I don't know.
You got esthetician?
I do have an
Man, you
esthetician.
famous.
It's also.
What else?
I was about to say,
Check
I
your
don't, I don't really know too much about the banana peel on the face and all that. Hey, I ain't really tried to ask him any questions about that. First of all, look, he
I'll
bit
try,
the- he
I'll
bit
try
the-
anything for a little bit. Yeah.
He
and
ain't,
then rub the shit on
he
his
ain't waste the
face.
banana. He ate the banana, though.
Listen, we all about
Eco-friendly.
being eco-friendly and you know,
Waste the whole
reduce,
bottle of
reuse,
water.
Reduce your
on his
carbon
face.
footprint.
Is that all he do?
Could he have not got the board out the sink, though?
But is that all he do?
Lemon water is questionable.
But scientifically speaking, spring water is better for you.
Or mountain,
Or mountain spring.
not tap.
Spring mountain.
New York tap.
New York tap is the best.
Now listen,
they say it's the.
That's what they
say.
say.
It's the crystal of the tap water. That's what they say. It's the Dom P, the Krug of tap water. That's what they say.
I am a fan of New York tap water. I grew up Maryland.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm both DC side.
We
though.
got lead in Baltimore.
so
in our
DC
water.
side.
Nah, I would
my
not
water was
dare
straight.
drink tap water
We
out
was
of
straight.
Baltimore.
I drink tap water. at home.
Baltimore?
Yeah, I'm saying, Bone, we got lead. So
No, we was closer to DC side. DC
know.
tap water also.
You used to drink out of water
Astounded.
fountains in school.
yeah, hell yeah.
That's why.
sure.
That's why we like we are now.
Oh god.
that led
You heard what DQ say? Baltimore, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck is you talking about?
What do you mean? Lead.
Fuck is you mean? Lead. Nah, shout out to B-Boy, man. Shout out to the homie put the ice on his face, man. And then, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to
Shout out
everybody we
Derek
spoke
Queen,
about.
too, man.
Shout out to Derek Queen,
Big
man.
shout out to DQ. DQ, you already know what it is. We got a couple more to go.
Yeah. Good luck.
Let's go
young
bring
fella.
it back home. Good luck. Do what you got to do. And to everybody else that's out there tuning in, locking in. I'm out.
Melo was like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Passing it over to the 7 p.m. crew.
Let's wrap this up.
And we gonna wrap this shit.
Let's take this home, baby. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, a Wave original presented by FanDuel. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and podcast channels. You really want to help the show. You really want to make sure that this is the #1 show in the world and your friends know it. Like, rate, review, leave comments, tell your friends about it, tweet about it. Interact in the comments. All that stuff helps 7 p.m. in Brooklyn become one of the biggest shows in all of the podcast world. For myself, the one and only Monica McNutt, Rudy Gay, and Carmelo Anthony. Peace out from the hook. We'll catch y'all next time, people.
Peace.